Lego, stacking lies in the sand. AI slop dreams getting crushed by the big man. Epstein is Epstein, that all you drive. Iran getting folded.
Better call the cops.
Lego, stacking lies in the sand. AI slop dreams getting crushed by the big man. Epstein is Epstein, that all you drive. Iran getting folded.
Better call the cops.
Yo, I ran trying to flex.
These Legos have to go. Sad. Time to make a bonfire. It's the best bonfire. Look at that beautiful flame. Perfect. In you go. This is tremendous.
4 years quiet, now you spend the whole grand. Trying to drop kind of millennia too. Your whole vision's a joke, what you gon' do?
Lego, stacking lies in the sand. AI slop dreams getting crushed by the big man. Epstein, all you drop.
The British ship denied. You go back. France, no way. Turn around now. And Italy, you're out too. Get lost. You're all fired.
Call the cops.
You're fired. 32. This guy is a problem. Let's fold him up and get him out of here. What do we have here? A bunch of little Lego people. This fortress is a disaster. I'm going to burn it to the ground. Believe me. Look at that tanker. Total loser. Making it beautiful with fire. Tremendous flames. The best. Nobody does fire like me.
Cute. That was awesome. I thought that was very good. I've been trying to avoid using the AI videos for the intros because I don't know if that's what caused the problem or something. Let's see. Diamond G says, "Hey, how come my membership got paused?" Because YouTube demonetized my channel Saturday morning at 1:03 a.m. And well, so that's why you can't super chat. That's why you can't be a member. That's why you can't do anything. It's being appealed. I've got top lawyers working on it, and people are on it. All the people that have sent messages to YouTube, I really appreciate it. All the people that tagged them did stuff. That's awesome. We'll see. You have to just wait and see what happens. That's all we can do. Can't do anything else. That's where we're at. But there are other ways to donate to the show if you really like the show, if you want the show to continue, if you want it to be longer. Yes, YouTube canceled them. That's correct. YouTube did. Cigarettes are going to be necessary tonight. Yes. Big Brother was drunk at 1 a.m. and that's how Jim got demonetized. That's what it seems like. Something happened. Let's see who's here tonight. Let's say hi, everybody, before we get into the whole goal thing and all that stuff. Wow, got a whole list of people. Wow, man, this is Holy crap. I'm scrolling up a lot. G Shark Man was the first one here. Then Mr. Sneaky Sean, SB Farmer. It's great. Nice seeing you. Oh, Choosy, what's up, buddy? Great to see you. I just posted a short title. Jim tells you demonetized unjustly. Well, I appreciate that. Iran tried to run a blockade. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. What the F's? Awesome to see you too. SB Farmer. What's up, America First? Great to see you. It's not elder abuse. It's straight up communism. Okay. Oh, that's right. Let's see who else is here. Iowa Backyard Cam's here. Awesome. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. What the F? Pat Hacker. Awesome to see you. Thanks for being here. Catherine K. Great to see you. You like the stories being listed on the weight screen? That's something that's going to be new. I don't know if that's part of the problem. That because my screen, my thumbnail was always the same, so they just automatically said, "Oh, look at this guy! It's just the same thumbnail all the time. He's just putting the same crap out every day." I don't know. So I guess every day I'm going to have to make a new thumbnail. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if that works. I don't know. Jay Schwartz, awesome to see you. Thanks for being here. Lisa, awesome. Thank you for being here. Terry, thanks for being here. None of your business. Awesome to see you. Thanks for being here. Dusky Dawn. Finally. Yeah, finally here. What's up, Diamond G? Thanks for being here. Marjorie. Awesome to see you. Who's Choosy? Choosy is the Exile Knights of Malta is Choosy. I don't know. I don't know if he wants me to call him Choosy, but that's what I know him as is Choosy. Happy Florida Girl. Awesome to see you. Thanks for being here. Pat Hacker says my new schedule has her thrown off center as much as Bella. Well, I apologize. Here's Bella. You can see she's right there, just chilling out. She's sleeping. She likes this schedule. Bella likes the later start times. She doesn't like the earlier start times, but I'm going to do the earlier start times as much as I can, just because it seems it's helped the channel grow a lot. I mean, those couple 2 weeks or so of starting early a few times a week or 3-4 times a week, I've added 200 subs. So it's making the channel grow. So I got to do what makes the channel grow. Hank, what's up? Great to see you. Muffin Rando, awesome. Thanks for being here. Hey, Tony, what's up, buddy? Awesome seeing you. Thanks for coming by. Green Caps Lock, good to see you. Woodtick Mike, awesome having you here. Jason, what's up? Vance is heading back to Pakistan, like Obama said. Well, supposedly they're going back tomorrow or something, but I don't know. That news about them going back came out before the ship that got boarded and seized in the ocean. So we'll have to see what happens there. Earlier gets more views. K Bean, hey, sweetheart, thanks for being here, Chief. Awesome to have you. Yeah, you got a crazy email. Did the crazy email say that memberships are paused, that I was demonetized? Because that's what happened. I don't know. I'm not sure. I still think somebody must have, like, some kind of gay op mass flagging attempt hacking, something like that is what caused it. Because it was just weird. It was very weird. I don't usually go on other shows. I went on a show and I made some jokes, said some things, and then 15 minutes later, my channel got demonetized. So I don't know. But yeah, anyway, there's Bella. Bella's chilling. So yeah, unfortunately, there is no YouTube Super Chats. There are no memberships right now. We're at the YouTube says I am not original content. I'm unauthentic, inauthentic content or something like that. I'm mass-produced content. I don't know. So, yeah, I'm fighting it. We'll see what happens. But until that time, if anyone would like to donate to the goal of the show, it is the chat. The links are pinned in the chat for Cash App and PayPal and Coffee, Ko-Fi, and Super Tips. There's also Rumble Rants if you're on Rumble. There's also memberships on Rumble. There are memberships on Rumble, just not on YouTube. There's also Locals has coins. And Kick and Twitch, I believe, have memberships also. So it is what it is. So it'll be the same thing. The shows goes for about 2 hours. Unless we hit the $100 goal, we'll still do it and add it all up. And if we get to 100, we'll add an extra hour. Then for every 100 that comes in, we'll add an additional extra hour. And then if we hit 50, we'll activate Bellavision. Unless somebody is so generous that they donate $25 or greater as an individual donation, then we'll automatically activate Bellavision for that. Don't worry about it. Rob was demonetized in the beginning too. Yeah, this is. Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, if what I'm doing is not monetizable on YouTube, I don't know how Rob or Tim Pool or any of these other people are getting monetized. I don't know if I'm. Not everyone gets Jim's humor. Well, I know they don't. You're out with Rumble, CEO back in Quarter Pounder's antics. I've tried to stay away from that stuff. I don't know enough about it. So we'll have to see. So let's get into this first story of the evening that everybody wants to know about. All right. All right. And I'm going to have to. So yeah. So say goodbye to Bella. And we'll see if the goal gets met for Bella, and we'll see what happens. Everybody made it work last night. So and just like that, we do actually have Bella Vision for the evening already. Nana 1776 gave a $25 donation on Cash App. So thank you very much, Nana. That means we are now just 75 away from adding additional hour to the show. Thank you so much. And I believe there was also a donation that came in on PayPal. Yes, Tim gave $10 on PayPal. So thank you, Tim. And that means we are now just 65 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. Thank you all so much. You're so generous. It is so greatly appreciated. You've been watching reruns of Gold Rush today. Now I can be a millionaire. Oh, well, yeah, millionaire. Yeah. You heard there was a second ship planning to run the blockade. Any news on that? I can look. I just have this story we'll talk about. Censorship should be abolished by free speech. I agree. I don't understand it. Yeah, awesome. Go Cash App. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yes, thanks for Bella, Nana. Yeah, Spuds. What's up, Spuds? Awesome having you here. Let me do this. I have to thank Nana with a heart here. Thank you. Hey, Gripper. What's up? Good to see you. So we got here today an Iranian flag cargo ship named the Tuska. Nearly 900 feet long and weighing almost as much as an aircraft carrier. Wow, a character. U.S. shot a ship. Yes, Lurchlinger, they did. The U.S. shot a ship. I believe we have a video of it, which we'll watch in a second here. So they tried to get past our naval blockade. It did not go well for them. U.S. Navy guided missile destroyer, the USS Spruance, intercepted the Tuska in the Gulf of Oman. Yep, they got boarded up on the Tuska. Yeah. Their Tukas got a little rash on it, it'll say. They gave them fair warning to stop. The Iranian crew refused to listen, so our Navy ship stopped them right in their tracks by blowing a hole in the engine room. Right now, U.S. Marines have taken custody of the vessel. The Tuska is under U.S. Treasury sanctions because of their prior illegal activity. We have full custody of the ship, and we are seeing what's on board. Yes, we also, that I do, Pat Hacker, there was two mass shootings today-ish. There was the terrible one. It seems more like that's like a family thing. We're going to talk about it. It was a father, I believe, that killed all 8 of his kids and his wife. So it's crazy. We'll talk about it. And then there was another one at Iowa State University. So we'll talk about both of those in a little bit. Hey, Wheezy Bob, hoorah, Marines. That's right. Then says our military is exceptional. Don't mess with the U.S. Now our political machines. That's another issue. All right. And then here's from Nick Sorter. Says the Pentagon released footage of the Navy opening fire on the Iranian flag cargo ship. Motor vessel Tuska. Vacate your engine room. Vacate your engine room. You guys ready for this? It's not long. There's a
Motor vessel Toska. Vacate your engine room. Vacate your engine room. We're prepared to subject you to disabling fire.
Okay, we gave the flare.
So yeah, so that happened today. I can't wait for the bridge and electric plant day. A couple more days of this ceasefire. Yeah. Well, that sucked. We want damage, explosions, food. What if there's some good cargo on board we want? This was a ship that was trying to enter Iran. It was a full cargo ship full of stuff. Do we think it's possible they knew what was on this ship? I do. I think they knew where this ship came from, and they know there's something on the ship that they don't want them to get. This is most likely, my opinion, most likely stuff coming from China, probably weapons. Sink or tow, that is the question. Oh, no, they're towing it in. They've got it. They got control of it. All they did was they didn't shoot below the water line. They shot above the water line into the engine room. I didn't think a 5-inch gun was I did not think a 5-inch gun was that accurate, personally, from that distance where they could actually just hit the engine room. I thought that was a little risky because it seemed like they got a lot further away than they originally were when they started shooting. Like when the first video, they were pretty close. I was like, oh yeah, they could hit it from there. But then it looked like they doubled or tripled their distance away. So, but idea, how about putting meme of day on startup wait page? I could do that. I'm cash and carry. What I did today was I just went to, and I cheated. I went to Grok, Super Grok, and I just said, create me a YouTube thumbnail for a live stream for this, gave it from this channel, for this channel, covering these 3 topics, and that's what it created. And I was like, you know what? That's not bad. So I don't know. Maybe that's what I'll just have to do every day. Is I'll have to put some topics in the descriptions and stuff, and I'll have to put a thumbnail in there maybe that has the stuff in. It's just one more thing I have to do, which honestly, I spend 4 to 5 hours a day, every day, looking for stories, correlating them, putting them in order where I think they should be told and stuff. And it's, I don't know. And then to do this other, it was just so much easier for me to just use the same thumbnail, because the way I looked at it, I'm like the 10 o'clock news or something. You know what I mean? I'm like the news. I come in and I just say, these are the stories. The news doesn't really tell you what the news are going to be. They just say, this is the news. And then they go through all the stories. I don't care if it was TP for Cornholio's bunghole. Really?
I am the great Cornholio. I'm a gringo. I have no bunghole. Bunghole.
Anyway. Yeah, Jim, you need more clarification. I need them to tell me what the problem was, KB, and I really do. Because if that's what the problem is, that seems pretty ticky-tack to say, well, your thumbnails are always the same. It's like, what? Or, oh, your description just says you're going to talk about the news of the day, because it says it's a daily news broadcast. It covers the news of the day. I don't know. Hey, don't worry, Finch. We're just getting into the first news story. You're fine. So, are you threatening me? So, yeah. So let's see here. Trump says U.S. seized an Iranian flag cargo ship, blew a hole in the engine. A ship called a Tuska attempted to get past U.S. military blockade that's been in effect since April 13th. There was one other thing that I should say right now, because a friend of mine who does YouTube and everything, they told me that it's possible that YouTube might think I'm AI, like legitimately, like they might, or because the way I speak in a monotone way, and that they might have thought that, like, their thing might have said, oh, this guy's it's just AI. It's this guy's AI. He's just repeating the stuff, and he's just reading news. Like, I'm just AI repeating news. I don't know. That would be friggin' hysterical to me if that's what they thought. Like, I would laugh my balls off if they were like, oh, we thought you were AI. That would make my day. It really would. You follow many, many YouTubers. I think your thumbnail was fine. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I hope so. I mean, I don't know. It seems like, oh, Mariquas' rant. Thank you, Mariqua. Let's see what we got here. We got a rant. We got $40 from Renee Collins. Oh, my Lord. Thank you so much, Renee. You are awesome. That is amazing. Thank you so much. That means right now, folks, we're just $25 away from adding the first additional hour to the show. That is amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Renee. Thank you so much. AI thinks I'm AI. Yeah, that could be it. That could be it. The U.S. Treasury also has sanctions on that ship before it was disabled trying to run a blockade. Yeah, they knew. Well, I did. Yeah, AI don't think. Jim is a real boy. Well, that's what I said to him. Like, I'm hoping, like, I did make a video. Like, I don't know if I should play it for you guys. I did make a video basically where I basically was just like yelling at YouTube, telling them what the hell so I don't know if it's that good thing. Like, maybe I shouldn't have yelled at them. It's called YouTube. Lord forbid your channel has info coming from it. Yeah. I don't know. What monotone? You do all the phony accents. I know, but I don't know. Was the ship that Iran shot at an Indian oopsie? I believe that ship that Iran shot at, was a miscommunication. Like somebody didn't tell. Like, there is a problem right now in Iran with getting information to the people, like whoever's in charge, getting information to the people like that are manning the things. So I think that's probably what happened. Is they gave them permission to go. Someone said, "Oh, it's fine," because they were actually following the Iranian route that they told them to go through when they got fired upon. And then someone else that didn't get the message, didn't get the memo, said like, "Oh no, here goes a ship. No one told us it can go," so they shot at it. You're 20 minutes late because you're streaming during the NHL playoffs again. Did I miss a rant? There was a rant. Yes. Are we sure Jim is an AI? I don't know. I'm starting to wonder if I'm AI. AI looks for patterns. Well, that's what it basically said. Is my show looks mass produced, like it's a mass produced production thing, like churning out stuff. And unless this would be a real thing too, unless it's not my live streams and it's my shorts that cause this. Because my shorts are like, it's just my YouTube video and it's just shorts, which all shorts are generally, like, all shorts are created by AI. Like, you use AI to create the shorts. No one's going to spend time to make the short like themselves. Use AI to snatch the things out of there. So. Or all the channels reposting everyone else's stuff. A ton of channels could be shut down with this kind of logic. That's what I'm saying. Speaking of AI, when I read Kamala Harris' quote, she doesn't pass the Turing test to me. Me neither. Yeah, keep your shorts on. Yeah. Hey, NASCAR Mo, yes, I agree. We all love Jim. Yes, everyone. I love Jim too. Thought Iran couldn't shoot anymore. No, Iran still has probably, and this is just my opinion from everything I've read and saw. I think Iran probably has 50%, maybe 40% of their capacity to launch like missiles and stuff right now, because they had a lot of launchers underground buried and they just need to dig them out. So if they could dig them out, then they can probably get them out. Hey, Winston. Yes, I'm not AI. I'm not AI. I don't try to be. Another rant? Okay, thank you. Let's see here. Another rant. No, I just one rant. We just had the one rant. Are you talking about a rant from? Wait, you're talking about a rant like, oh, you want me to rant about something? I'm not really like a ranty type ranter person. I do. I basically sell propane and propane accessories. Vegas Golden Knights versus Utah Mammoth just got started. Go Knights. I seen Jim in ass and sweatpants. He's not AI. Thank you. Guess all the World War II reefs about to rotted now. Yeah, well, they grow. Rumble rant. There was a Rumble rant, Marcus. I don't see it. I hold on. I just see the one from Renee. I got that already. I already got that, Marcus. Thank you. Look at the ghetto. I'll share. Look, I looked at the ghetto. I got it. It's from Renee Collins. I already covered it. Sorry I'm late. I already got it, buddy. I thank you, though. I appreciate it. I do. I really appreciate it because I need someone to tell me because it doesn't pop up. All right. The way the system works is I have the rants. I can pull up the rants. I have it in a separate window, but I don't get a notification when there's a rant. So I rely on all of you in the ghetto to tell me that there's a rant. So I appreciate it. Jim is the best, most advanced AI out there. The real AI could learn a lot here. Joe does rants. Yeah. I don't really, I mean, I guess I do rant sometimes, but maybe they think Bella is AI. That's possible. Maybe they don't think Bella's a real dog. Maybe they think I must be doing something to the dog to make her sit there like that. I don't know. So Jim, that means you're a real gas. Well, thank you, Gripper. Yes. What's that cartoon head character in the propane salesman? Dale? No, it's Hank Hill. I'll sell propane and propane accessories. That's Hank Hill, and then his neighbor's Dale, and then Boomhauer is the other neighbor that goes, King of the Hill. Yeah. When does the show start? Oh, I'm sorry. I'll get it going. So here is we saw this video already, which I don't know. Maybe this will be better. No. What did you do? What happened?
Video. Motor vessel Tosca. Vacate your engine room. We're prepared to subject you to disabling fire.
Okay, we gave the flare.
Wow. And I just received another $5 from Andy on PayPal. Thank you so much, Andy, for the $5 on PayPal. That means right now we are only $20 away from adding a first additional hour to the show. So thank you so much to everyone who's been so generous tonight. It came out wrong. Boomhauer is trying hard to express himself. Yes, he does. Hank Hill is still funny. Yeah. President Trump on Sunday said the U.S. military forcibly seized an Iranian flagged cargo ship that attempted to bypass the blockade. In an announcement posted on Truth Social, Trump said the ship called the Tuska. They should have called it the Tukas because they really took it in their Tukas. U.S. military blockade has been in effect since April 13. It did not go well for them, he said. A Navy destroyer intercepted a cargo ship in the Gulf of Oman, stopped them right in their tracks, blowing a hole in the engine room. Right now, Marines have custody of the vessel. According to a tracking website, Marine Traffic, the ship is about 964 feet in length and more than 106 feet wide. That's a big ship. Tim Pool was talking about having problems he had with a new channel. He started having trouble doing what he did on the main channel. Probably. I don't know. It's like I think they purposely try to keep new growing channels down. It's like they're I don't know why. I don't know why they're like that, but your dad said took us. Yeah. The capture of the vessel was made as the Trump administration is working to secure a peace deal with the Iranian regime before a 2-week-long ceasefire ends on April 21st. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the way I don't know if Trump's actually going to go through with more bombing and stuff. Like, I don't know if they see any. I don't know if they see any real, like, what they need to do about it. I don't know, like, if it's going to help. Like, they shouldn't just blow stuff up just to blow stuff up. If it's going to stop them from doing something, if it's like offensive equipment, they're doing something like that, yeah, do it. Or if it's going to keep them from rebuilding stuff, sure. But because BC is losing monies. Yes, check out my PayPal or my Cash App, either one. They're both really, really good. I'm going to rotate QR codes up there. What do I think was on that ship? YouTubies. I think that ship has some contraband on it, and they knew what was on that ship because it was not that ship was going into an Iranian port. It was trying to run the blockade to get into Iran. And it's not like we don't know where that ship went and what that ship loaded. I mean, think about it. We have spy satellites watching everything around the world. I mean, it's just that's what America does. We're watching everything all the time. We knew where those ships were. You don't understand why they still have the fast boats? Well, because the fast boats are small. You know what I mean? They're small boats. They're like basically like fishing boats or speed boats we would have here, 2 engines, 3 engines. So, you know, like, and you don't want to, you're not going to go around and blow them all up. You just basically let them have something. But if they do anything, then you blow them up. Iran said they will retaliate with a strongly worded letter. Well, they could try. They could try. I mean, I'm going to be 100% honest with you. That ship, the American ship, the Spruance, it was close enough to Iranian shores that if they wanted to fire on it, they could have. They didn't. Now, did they not fire on our destroyer because they didn't have the capability to actually hit it? Is that why they didn't fire on it? Because if they would have launched, you know what I mean? Or did they know that if anything they launched at it would get shot down and then it would be a massive retaliation from the U.S.? I don't know. It's possible. Oh, Ken says we all should be paid just for watching. Oh, okay. Well, if there was any way I could do it, I would, you know, I would take care of it for you. So the naval blockade, which is being enforced by the U.S. Central Command, targets ships that are entering or exiting Iranian ports and will not impede on the freedom of navigation for ships transiting the Strait of Hormuz, a waterway that links the Persian Gulf with the broader ocean. So Trump said negotiators will arrive in Pakistan on Monday evening for another set of talks with Iran. Several hours later, Iran had not yet confirmed it would attend. The president also threatened to destroy civilian infrastructure in the country if it doesn't take the deal that the administration is offering. Iran has said it's preparing its military during the ceasefire. What are they preparing their military for? Surrender? Because surrender is not in our creed. Iran's foreign ministry spokesperson, Ismail Baghai, said Sunday that the U.S. blockade of Iran's ports and coastline is an act of aggression that violates the shaky Pakistan-mediated ceasefire between the two countries. I know what we need right now, Jim. When no one is looking, let's ram through an amnesty. Yeah, that's the type of shit they're doing. You know, I don't. No. I mean, they did try both in the House and the Senate. They both tried to pass a war powers resolution to tell Trump to stop, and they both got defeated. So. That's awesome, Renee. You're watching via YouTube on your TV and have the Open in a Rumble app on my phone. Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you. Matibja will send a letter. Yeah, they'll send a very, very harshly worded letter. That's what they'll do. By deliberately inflicting collective punishment on the Iranian population, it amounts to a war crime. Well, it's not collective punishment to blow up dual-use infrastructure. It's not. That's not collective punishment. Collective punishment would be to start blowing up hospitals and schools and apartment buildings. That's collective punishment. I mean, but let's be 100%, 100 with everyone here. During World War II, I'm not comparing this to World War II, but I'm just going to say that during World War II, every country fought what was known as total war. There was no we can't bomb this. It was they shelled cities, they shellacked whole cities, they bombed whole cities, both the Russians, the Germans, the British, the US, the Japanese. Everybody did it. If they would give you, they would come into like a city like Paris or what else was it? I think in Saigon and other places, they would come in and say, like the Japanese did. I think was it Saigon or was it? It was. I don't know if it was Saigon or if it was in the Philippines. There was a city that they, Japan basically said if you don't give us the city, we're going to destroy the whole city, and they surrendered it. And the same thing happened with Paris. They said, we'll surrender the city, don't come in. They tried to do it also in, what was the one that the U.S. and the British were going in and they asked, or was it the Germans? I don't know. There was a city also in like Belgium or somewhere that was on a port city that they asked them to surrender, and they didn't get the message in time, and the bombers had already took off the bomb and stuff like that. I mean, it happens. It happens. He has a ghostwriter, probably. Yeah. Bunch of pussies nowadays. Yeah. Is it true Obama working the phones behind the scenes? How is that legal? It's not legal. It's a violation. Dresden is a good example. Yeah, Dresden, Tokyo, the firebombing of Tokyo, the firebombing of Dresden. They're like, nope, we have to, that was the way the wars were fought. We have to punish the people. Antwerp, that's right. It was Antwerp. Yes, Antwerp was the city. Was that the Germans or was that the British? I can't remember if it was the Germans or the British. I think it was the Germans that asked for them to surrender, and they didn't get the message in time, and so they hit it anyway. I think it was the Germans. The Iranian general Majid Mousavi, commander of the IRGC Aerospace Force, said in comments carried by a semi-official state media. How is it semi-official state media? Yeah, Poland. Yeah, what they did to Poland was terrible. That was, people always forget that it wasn't just the Germans that went into Poland. They always talk about the Germans invaded Poland. The fucking Russians went into Poland too. They went to Germany. They made a deal to do it. They had a pact. It was called the von Ribbentrop Pact or something like that. And the Germans went in this way. The Russians went in this way. They met at the middle and drank vodka and shook hands and completely devastated my family's homeland. It's terrible. So he said in these comments that the Iran's armed forces are replenishing drone and missile stockpiles during the ceasefire. Yeah, well, it's possible. Maybe that cargo ship had some of those replenishment stuff on it, because it's not like Iran has like massive stockpiles of stuff. Like they get a lot of dual use products. The Molotov Ribbentrop, correct? Yeah. Okay. A lot of people don't even realize, Gundam, that Molotov, like from the Molotov cocktail, that was a guy. That was an actual man. He was responsible. He came up with Molotov cocktails. Like, it was his thing. It was named after him. What does that tell you? So during the ceasefire period, our speed in updating and refilling missiles and drone launch platforms even greater than before the war. It was all before the Geneva Convention on War Crimes. So now the Geneva Convention existed prior to World War I, actually, the Geneva Conventions. That's why the Germans were all upset about us using shotguns during World War I, because they said it violated the Geneva Conventions. You're thinking of, it was actually all the stuff about bombing cities and wars of aggressions, all that came out of the Nuremberg stuff. Mm-hmm. It was a very heavy drinking Molotov. Yeah, no problem. No problem, Green Cassock. You're fine. I mean, it's that, but yeah, no, the Geneva Convention was prior to World War I. And it was like I don't know. It had to do with the League of, no, not the League of Nations. No, the League of Nations came after World War I. I'm not sure, but it was like a group of stuff that went in Geneva and they tried to do things. The Russians allowed Germany to destroy Warsaw before they retreated in World War II. Yeah, the Russians were right there. And the people in Warsaw were begging, thought they're going to come in. So they did an uprising to try and fight the Germans. And the Russians just watched them get slaughtered and waited for them to be done slaughtering them. And then they went in. The Finns came up with the Molotov cocktails during the Winter War. The first Geneva Conventions came about during the 1870s. Wait a minute, Philip Cox. And why is a guy named Molotov involved? So you're telling me it's just a coincidence that they're called Molotov cocktails? Did they name them Molotov cocktails after Molotov, the Russian foreign minister? Is that what is that what I'm getting? I thought they used them when they did the Russian Revolution. I thought Molotov was part of, the Russian Revolution, and that's why the name came from that. I don't know. I'm not, And gas wasn't supposed to use gas. They not only slaughtered the Poles in Warsaw, but the Germans bombed all the buildings and destroyed the city. Oh, they named him after Molotov because of the duplicitous negotiating tactics of the USSR. Finn started her. Okay, all right. I don't know. I knew it was named after Molotov. I knew it was named after Molotov. I just assumed, that it was because of like maybe they created those when they was fighting, when it was the red Russians fighting the white Russians during, the revolution, during, towards the end of World War I, when they overthrew the Tsar and communism took over. I thought that's where it came from. But before the ceasefire was announced, the United States and Israel repeatedly struck Iranian military targets, including defense production facilities that made missiles and drones, and killed dozens of the country's top leaders. In response, Iran fired rockets and drones at neighboring Gulf Arab states and Israel, while it attacked ships in the region and threatened shipping off the Strait of Hormuz. Warsaw had the blueprints and rebuilt what Germans destroyed. Well, a lot of people don't know too. Like a lot. Well, I don't know. Maybe a lot of people know that the Poles are actually the ones who originally cracked the Enigma code. Like they were working on breaking the code, and they had like top scientists in Poland working on it, and they were able to smuggle out a working prototype to the British before the Germans came in. And basically that's where all the like the whole Enigma code thing, and that's actually the Germans. Then after the Germans came in, I believe they tortured a bunch of people. They got a lot of this. They found out what was going on, and they tortured all of them. And that's why they ended up adding an additional reel or two on the Enigma, an extra reel or two, because they thought that would, that they wouldn't be able to do it with figure it out, I guess. I don't know. But then it took, it was actually Turing, a guy by the name of Turing, Alan Turing? Alan or Alexander? Alan Turing, that built the bronze goddesses, which were the first computers. They were mechanical computers. And that's what were able to break the Enigma code down. Poland is the best kept secret in Europe. That's where I'd live if I had to live there. Yeah. I don't lie. I still have family in Krakow, so. Since the start of the conflict, the price for a barrel of Brent crude reached above 100, although it dropped to 90 during the most recent trading period. West Texas Intermediate crude, meanwhile, has dropped to below $84 per barrel. The American Automotive Association reported Sunday the average price for a gallon of gas dropped slightly to $4.04 from $4.05. So how is that possible that it only dropped 1 penny? I mean, this makes me go, what are you guys playing games for? Family in a crack house? Yeah, that's what you heard. Krakow, Poland. Krakow. Will the Democrats, if they take the House, restart money and weapons? Money and weapons to who? Our money and weapons? Like, you're talking about the money, our resupply of money and weapons? Or are you talking about money and weapons to one of these other countries? So, I hit the wrong button. So this just says a device that Turing built would narrow down the possible setting to about 20, which would then be checked in about a half hour. Money and weapons flowing into Ukraine. Well, we can't send them stuff we don't have. That's the problem. Like, we're using the stuff elsewhere. They're going to have to. It seems like, from what I've been reading, the Ukrainians have like a whole robot army and stuff. So we saw all this. The Iranian crew refused to listen, so our Navy ship stopped them right in their tracks by blowing a hole in the engine room. So that, okay. The FBI director says arrests are coming for the 2016 Russia probe. We're not going to let this go. That's cool. So it says Iran threatens to respond after U.S. Navy seizes an Iranian flag cargo vessel.
No immediate response from President Trump after Iran reversed course overnight, announcing that it would be reinstating restrictions on the Strait of Hormuz. Of course, just yesterday, President Trump had celebrated the opening of that critical shipping route, but said, notably, that an American blockade on Iranian ports would remain in full force until a broader deal is reached that includes dismantling Iran's nuclear program.
Why do we need to do more for Ukraine if they're winning? I mean, they're winning. That's what we keep hearing. They're doing great. They're winning. They're winning. They have like robot armies. They got all these drones. They've got, AI, like autonomous fucking tanks that they're using supposedly to take over stuff. Have you noticed the new door covering in front of the White House? Was it on that video? Did I miss it? Did I miss it?
Morning saying it will maintain these restrictions on the Strait until that U.S. blockade ends. The brief opening of the waterway on Friday, though, did allow tankers to start resuming shipments. That sent oil prices plunging. Of course, the whiplash this morning once again injecting uncertainty into the global economy. Before these developments, President Trump told reporters that a longer-term peace deal with Iran he felt was within reach. He said few differences remained, but he also did not commit to extending the current ceasefire agreement that's due to expire on Wednesday.
Maybe I won't extend it, but the blockade is going to remain. But maybe I won't extend it. So you have a blockade, and unfortunately, we'll have to start dropping bombs again.
That blockade is designed to strangle Iran's economy and apply pressure in peace talks. President Trump has said that negotiations with Iran could continue this weekend. Reporting at the White House, I'm Jackie DeFusco.
Yeah, a lot of people make jokes about Poland. Yeah, Poland doesn't fuck around anymore. I mean, Poland just didn't have Poland was doing pretty good. You know, like they actually really did a lot of damage to the German military when the Germans came in. It wasn't until the Russians came in from the other side that was a problem. They couldn't handle getting attacked from both sides, and that's why they just collapsed. But that's why you hear the stories about the Poles attacked German tanks with horses. They had like people with they still had lances. The Poles actually had very good tanks. It's just they didn't have enough of them. The Poles had good planes. They just didn't have enough of them. They just couldn't. They couldn't handle that, and nothing could be done. Basically at that point. Yeah. This is nowhere near the highest oil prices. The 70s in 2005 were higher. Oh yeah, and also in 2022 they were higher. In 2022 they were a lot higher. Hey Jules, what's up? Thanks for being here. Can we start over? So fortunately, we can't start over. But I'm going slow. I have only seen it a few times. Most pictures of the White House are old shots. Well, what is it? Tell me what it is. Tell me what it is. And I just have to say that I just got a notification on PayPal.
Tactical assessment. Red Chinese victory. Impossible. America will never fall to communist invasion. Communism is the very definition of failure.
Thank you, K Bean. Did Rumble crash? I hope not. Let me look at Rumble. What happened? I'm still live on Rumble. Maybe refresh Rumble. Maybe refresh Rumble, Hank. I can still see it. I'm live. Thank you, K Bean, for the 20 on PayPal. With that, we hit the first extra hour. We are now just $100 away from adding a second additional hour to the show. Thank you so much. You had to refresh. You're back. Okay. I on mine it was live, so I don't know if I don't know if it was me or if it's it could be internet stuff. Yes, KB is the best. She is. Thank you, Big Harry. Thank you, everybody over there in Rumble. Let me look at the chat. It says it's connected still, right? Everything is good. All right, reset. All right, everything is good. That's good. That's good. Okay. All right. The United States attacked and seized an Iranian flag cargo ship and said try to evade the blockade. It was the first interception since the blockade of the ports began last week. The standoff over the Strait, sharpening the ceasefire expiring Wednesday. It's not clear whether President Trump's early announcement on new talks with Iran now stood. Uncertainty sent oil prices rising again. Trump said the U.S. We saw that. The Tuska stopped them right in their tracks by blowing a hole in their engine room. It's not clear whether anyone was hurt. Central Command didn't answer questions, said the destroyer had issued repeated warnings over a 6-hour period. Yeah, they chased them for 6 hours. So there was no comments from the officials directing Trump's announcement about talks. However, state media, without citing anyone, issued a report suggesting they would not happen. So, I mean, if the thing is, here's the thing. If the Iranians refuse to even meet with us, yes, thank you, KB, and you're awesome. It was crashing for you. We'll try again. What are you talking about? YouTube or Rumble? Yeah, love Poland. They've kept their economy thriving. Been the only smart country with immigration. Yeah. You're back, damn Balmer grabber. Whatever, man. I don't know. Hey, Gilly, what's up? Was away for a while. It's good to be back. Well, thank you for being here, Gilly. So is it open, closed, or blocked? It's Schrodinger's Strait. It's open, it's closed, or it's blocked, depending on where you are at the time and what flag is on the boat, I guess. The cat is out. I will, you know what? I will make a short video of the cat, and I will. Well, I can't post it in the member section. I don't have a member section. Oh my god. I'll make a short video of the cat, and I'll just post it for everybody. So, yeah, Schrodinger's Strait. It is. It's open. It's closed. It's blocked, depending on what boat you're on at the time and what time of day it is. So Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif said that U.S. actions, including bullying and unreasonable behavior, have led to increased suspicion. You know, they better really, Pakistan better really mind their P's and Q's. We still, this is my opinion, this is not U.S. foreign policy, but my opinion is we still have a little bitty bone to pick with old Pakistanis over them having a guy by the name of Osama bin Laden, whatever his name was. By having him living in one of their major cities, Islam is bad. Right, wasn't he in Islam is bad? Like right where we're going to have these meetings, wasn't he right there? Like hanging out for like years, living in a thing. Basically, pretty sure he was being protected by their security services because like they would have known he was there. Sounds great. A frisky special. Yeah. There are actually there are videos on my channel. If you go back and go look at my channel, actually, there are videos of Frisky and my other cat that I had previously, Baby, when they were kitties. Not with Bella, with my dog previous to Bella, because the cats are older than Bella. I had a previous dog that kind of looked like Bella, but a little bit skinnier, and her name was Charlie. She was a great dog too. She's long gone, but and she treated those cats like they were her kitten, like they were her babies, and she played with them. There are a couple videos on my channel, like the oldest videos on my channel are of the cats playing with the dogs, the two cats playing with Charlie. So just letting you know, they're there. This has got to be this. Wait, it's got to be
President Trump now announcing that his negotiating team is heading to Pakistan for another round of peace talks that he says will take place on Monday evening. And President Trump says that if Iran does not make a deal, the U.S. military will blow up their power plants and bridges, re-upping a threat that previously prompted concerns about potential war crimes. The president, in that new social media post this morning, also accused Iran of violating the current ceasefire agreement by firing at ships on Saturday in the Strait of Hormuz. It happened after Iran shut down that crucial waterway once again over the weekend and said that those restrictions would continue until the Trump administration ended its blockade on Iranian
link for what,
ports.
Hank?
The blockade has completely halted economic trade going into and out of Iran by sea, according to U.S. Central Command, a pressure tactic that the president showed no signs of backing down from during brief remarks on Saturday.
We're talking to them. They wanted to close up the Strait again, as they've been doing for years, and they can't blackmail us.
The current ceasefire between the United States and Iran is due to expire on Wednesday right now without further action. Reporting in Washington.
Yeah. So let's see here. There was something I want to make. So I was wrong. It was Abbottabad. It was Abbott is bad, Pakistan, near their West Point. Yeah. So you got Islam is bad. You got Abbott is bad. Where the hell is Costello is bad? I'm still laughing at the Schrodinger Strait. I want that shirt. Yeah, they're like the oldest video. If you go look at the oldest video, Lancelot link, the link to Oh, the link to the White House portico. No, did you send it to me, Ank? Did you send it to me in a DM, or did you send it to me in a DM? No, you didn't send it to me in a DM. Okay. So two previous attempted talks last June and earlier this year were interrupted by Israel and U.S. attacks. So it's our fault. It's our fault. Just put it in the chart, in the chat. Lancelot link. I didn't see any link on YouTube at all. I don't know. I think YouTube has something like I don't know. I don't know. So on a phone call, the Abbas Agarachi told the Pakistani counterpart that the recent U.S. actions, rhetoric, and contradictions were a sign of bad intentions and a lack of seriousness. Pakistan did not confirm a second round of talks. Yeah, they're blocking links. Yeah, nothing I can do about it. Sorry. Officials spoke on condition of anonymity because they weren't authorized to discuss preparations with the media. Yes. Yeah. If you want, Ank, if you jump over to Rumble, you can post a link in there, no problem. So I don't know. That's one thing Rumble is good at. You can post links. There's no rope for hot sauce commercials here. What? Oh, Taco Bell is barking in the hood. Oh, did I miss something? Was there a dog? Did I have something play that I didn't see? Mm-hmm. Just type in White House portico. Okay. And what? Google or on Twitch? Or I mean on X. This says oil prices are down again today. Oil prices were all the way down to $79.52, and now they're back up. Right now they're at $87.20 a barrel. So they're going back up slightly. So you're saying White House portico. White House portico. White House portico. The White House has two main porticos. Mm-hmm. Images. I don't know what I'm looking for though. I just see a whole bunch of I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know what I'm looking for. There's just a whole bunch of pictures. I don't know. Sorry. How is it possible on Sunday? Their oil is futures. It's futures trading. Futures trading is still done. The market doesn't ever close for futures. So the futures trading is just keep going on. That's basically sets the standard for what it's going to be. Like a lot of people don't realize too, like the stock market is technically closed, but there's futures trading throughout the stock market all through the weekends. Futures and all that stuff happens at night, overnight. So you will notice it now when you see it. Okay. I've been looking. I don't see it. On Google. That's what I did. I did type the White House portico and I didn't see anything. I just saw pictures of the White House. I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking for. How crazy would it be if we found out the Pakistan reps are Obama? Could be. How do they trade in the future? Well, lucky number 7, they use magic. Would you believe in magic? And the photos say, coming around, we'll sell oil today. It's magic. Truth is fact, yes. I don't see what he's looking for either. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I trust Ank that it's obviously something that's bothering him and normally, like, let me know. So the White House said that J.D. Vance will lead the first rounds of talks over 21 hours last week and would lead the U.S. delegation to Pakistan with Witkoff and Kushner. So Iran on Saturday said it received a new proposal from the White House for the United States, and there will be no retreat in the field of diplomacy. Oh, we'll see. We'll see. It's unclear whether either side had shifted stances on issues that derailed the last rounds. See, that's the thing. The U.S., Trump cannot back down on the uranium stuff. You can't. You can't. There's no way. Otherwise, if you let them keep the uranium or you let them continue the nuclear program, yeah, I know what a portico is, and it's enclosed over the front entrance of the White House. I know what it is. I don't know. I saw one picture of like a big red, one of those cancer things. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, like the ribbon, the red, I think it's the cancer ribbon or breast cancer ribbon or something. Yeah, well, a smoke and a beer will fix it. It would. Futures, you're buying delivery oil in the future. You sell it before delivery, and someone wants to buy oil. The futures takes delivery. Yeah. Well, futures are different than options. Futures, you have to. If you're holding a future contract, you have to take delivery of that contract. That's why back during COVID, there was oil basically where they were trying to pay people to take the oil because the future contracts came due, and people were like, we have nowhere to store the oil. Someone has to take it. So they were like, oil actually cratered to like less than zero. Like it was $0. Take this oil, get it out of here. It's nuts. So Trump's announcement on talks repeated his threats against Iranian infrastructure that have drawn widespread criticism, warning of war crimes. If Iran doesn't agree to the U.S. proposed deal, the United States is going to knock out every single power plant and every single bridge in Iran. I guess that's what we're going to have to do then. Let's go, Jim. Let's go, Jim. Early on Monday, Iran warned that it could keep up the global economic pain as ships remain unable to transit the Strait, with hundreds of vessels waiting at each end for clearance. I mean, Iran is hurting themselves. Also, let's not joke around. Every day that Iran isn't been able to sell their oil, they're losing billions of dollars a day. I think billions of dollars. Security of the Strait is not free. The choice is clear. Yeah, Trump filled up the reserves in 2018. It would have been very smart for the U.S. to take all that oil that was $0 and pump. We had open space in 2020, like during the whole like Biden shutdowns, all that stuff. When the oil, I think it was like towards the end of Trump, like beginning of Biden, when everything was shut down. They should have. Was it? I don't know. They should have filled it then. Gas prices won't fall quickly. Yeah, we know that. We're paying attention. Roughly 1/5 of the world's oil trade normally passes through the Strait. Also, fertilizer and natural gas and humanitarian supplies for places in dire need like Afghanistan and Sudan. Well, I guess they're going to have to maybe do something about that. Yes, India and China are in a crisis because of the trickle. Remember, we don't care. We have Canada and Venezuela. Yeah, but I think we still get like urea and other stuff for our it's been a problem because of the Ukraine war, like our potash, and other stuff that we use for planting, for fertilizer stuff, and comes from these places, which now it's like cut off. Like I think Ukraine, a lot of it came from Ukraine, and that's a problem. Iran had announced the Straits reopening after a 10-day truce between Israel and the Hezbollah militants. Now, Lebanon took hold on Friday, but then Trump said the blockade will remain in full force until Tehran reaches a deal. Iran said it would again enforce restrictions imposed earlier in the war. On Saturday, Iran fired at ships trying to transit. Yeah, helium-2. Yes, helium-2. I can't show the link even though I find one for you. Sorry. Each side has accused the other of violating the ceasefire. Since most supplies to the U.S. bases in the Gulf region come through the Strait, Iran has determined to maintain oversight and control over traffic through the Strait until the war fully ends. That means Iran designates routes, payment of fees, and issuance of transit certificates. Still 30 minutes behind. Jim, you speak very fast at 2 times speed. I'm sorry. I will slow down the way I speak. That way you can catch up, Joe. Council has recently acted as Iran's de facto top decision-making body. The war is now in its 8th week. Yeah, if you want, Ank, send me an email. Just send me an email at jimtellsyou@duck.com. jimtellsyou@duck.com. The war is now in its 8th week after the U.S. and Israel launched, and they launched it February 28th. After talks over their nuclear program broke down, 3,000 people have been killed in Iran. This number keeps going up, even though I don't think we've been bombing Iran. Like yet these numbers keep going up and up and up and up and up. I don't understand how they keep going up. I don't get it. I don't get how they can keep going up like that if we're not. Yes. Jim is a Scalosian confirmed. I don't. Jim is the only streamer I can't listen to at 1.5 because he speaks too fast already, like lightning. True talent. I'm a Southerner. I'm like, what? Well, I'm trying. Like, I try to speak faster because I'm trying to get through as many stories as I can. I'm trying to get the information out there as fast as I can. If I'm ever speaking so fast that I become, I have been told by people when I'm having a conversation with them that I can get to where it's like, slow down, you're talking too fast. If that happens, someone just say, hey, slow down, and I'll slow down. Because, I try to focus on enunciation and pronunciation and all that stuff and making sure I'm saying words correctly. That's one of the things I try to get correct, to use correct dialect. So, yeah, so it says that 2,000. Oh, so this is 2,000 people have been killed, or 3,000 people have been killed in Iran, 2,290 in Lebanon, and 23 in Israel, and 13 U.S. service members. Diction. That's what it is. Diction. I'm sorry. Diction. Diction. Not dialect. Yeah. Dialect is different areas speaking like a different dialect would be like if I was in like New York accent, Chicago accent, or different things. Anyway, so I got that. I screwed that up. So. And then same thing here. Jerusalem Post just says Iran says U.S. broke ceasefire. Same thing. I don't think we need to go through this one. And then we go. Okay, now we got this, the next story of the evening, which this one is very interesting. This is a very interesting. As how many protesters were killed in Iran, Hansi? 30 to 40,000, I believe. 30 to 40,000. Ebonics. I don't speak no Ebonics. Diction is irrelevant. Spelling. Yeah. 40K. That's what I'm saying. Singapore uses banks to plug their cybersecurity holes in preparation for the Claude Mythos. Urges banks. Yes. That's going to be Jacoby. That's going to be a problem. They know it's a problem. Because their systems are already being used by hackers to bypass all the protections that are there because they can act faster, you know what I mean, and learn and do things before they can patch the holes. So they know this is an issue. I have a really sinking suspicion that we're going to have massive cyber problems over the next 5 to 6 years before they figure out, like, hey, we have to just not do this. We just have to not do this. NSA is using Anthropic's Mythos despite top officials at the Department of Defense, which oversees NSA, insisting the companies a supply chain risk. Yeah, they're not supposed to be using it. They're not supposed to. But they have time to get rid of it. I think they have 12 months because until the other things come on. There was a lawsuit also, Jacoby. I believe there was a lawsuit and a judge said that you can't do that. No, you can't. You can't do that. You can't say it's a national security issue. You can't say it's a problem. So that's gonna be an appeal, which I haven't seen anything on the appeal yet, but we'll see. So an Iranian woman, or Mythos leaks itself. Yeah, it's a problem. An Iranian woman was arrested at LAX, charged with helping the Iranian regime sell drones, not just drones, also bullets, missiles, weapons. She was an arms trafficker living in the United States on a fucking green card, people. We had somebody here on a green card that was working with the Iranians as a weapons dealer. We just arrested the Iranian Victor Bout, which I don't know if you know who the Lord of War is. If you ever saw the movie Lord of War with Nicolas Cage, it was modeled after Victor Bout, who Joe Biden traded back to Russia for the for a black transgender basketball player that got caught smoking weed in Russia. Yeah. AI can code very well and probe and find weak links. I'm using cloud to help code new software. Amazed how good it is. This will be worst. It is only getting better and faster. Yeah. It's a great movie. Yeah. So here she is. There she is. This is the woman. She was arrested trying to leave LAX. So Shamim Mafi is arrested at LAX for allegedly trafficking arms on behalf of the Iranian regime. Federal officials arrested an Iranian woman. Huh. See, now this is weird. They're saying they arrested an Iranian woman. But when they arrest an illegal alien, they say, oh, they arrested a Boston man. They arrested, a Sacramento man or a San Jose man or a Austin man. But when this is an Iranian woman. Huh. For brokering weapons for the Iranian regime. Shamim Mafi, 44, of Woodland Hills, California. The woman is a man, Brittany Griner. Well, that's what I said. I don't know. I know that it's like I know I saw pictures of the woman topless, and it wasn't a woman. Sequel, Lord of War, coming out next year. What would we do to all these people? Yeah, Merchant of Death. Yeah, that was his nickname, Merchant of Death. Lord of War. That is a great movie. That is an awesome movie. It's all connected. Yeah, it is. So he was arrested for trafficking arms on behalf of the government of Iran and was charged in connection with allegedly selling of drones, bombs, bomb fuses, millions of rounds of ammunition manufactured by Iran and sold to Sudan. So, what do you know? There was also, that's Victor Boot used to sell weapons to Sudan. Huh. Strange. Do Bella's paws smell like Fritos? Not a joke. If they do, it's a yeast infection. There's good medication option. Well, thank you, Reggie. I will look into it. I'm not going to sniff her paws right now, but I'll smell them later, I guess. I don't know. See, I have this special soap. I should get it and show it to you that I give her a bath twice a week in it. I was told I can't do it more than twice a week because it'll cause her skin to get really dried out and be more of an issue. Yeah. Pesky Citizen says, what's up, man? Don't worry, Jim. There's only 4,000 sleeper cells in the U.S. again. Yeah, smell you later. I shall never eat Fritos again. Yes. I can't believe we traded the Merchant of Death for that loser. Well, here's the thing, though, KB, and this might, I don't know. I hope this doesn't offend anybody. I don't know that the U.S. had any right to arrest the Merchant of Death because he never violated U.S. laws. We got him on he was never on U.S. soil. You know what I mean? He was never on U.S. soil. Everything he was doing was between other governments. So, like, what gave the U.S. the right to go into another country? And this is just, I don't know. What gave the U.S. the right to go into another country? I believe it was Malaysia, and snatch him out of a hotel and bring him back to the U.S. Basically, he never did anything. He never sold anything into U.S. territory. He never bought anything from U.S. territory, supposedly. The movie, The Lord of War, twisted up because they basically show him living in the U.S. and being married to the U.S. and all this stuff, but he was never lived in the U.S. at all. So, but Hollywood told me he was bad. I'm not saying he's a good guy. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it at all. I'm just saying, did he kill Americans? I don't know if he ever did kill Americans. I think that's what they tried to say, is that he sold weapons to someone that used those weapons to kill Americans. But if that's, honestly, let's talk about if that's the key, then don't we have don't we have a major problem here? Because the fucking United States government has sold weapons to people that were used to kill Americans. I don't know. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is I think the fact that we had him was very a very touchy situation of whether or not the Russians had a right to say, no, that's our guy. You got to give him back. I don't know. They won't smell exactly like Fritos, but you'll know if Frito likes scent. Okay. All right. I was going to say, because I like Fritos, but I don't, I like Frito pie, where you take the Fritos and you put the chili on it and cheese and stuff. And anyway, like a walking taco type of thing. So if convicted, she faces a statutory maximum sentence of 20 years in federal prison. Mafi is an Iranian national, became a lawful permanent resident in the United States in 2016. Thanks, Obama. Thanks, Obama. I wonder if Valerie Jarrett, who was also Iranian, Obama's lady, remember the whole thing? Obama with Roseanne Barr, who said something about her, and she's like, I thought she was Iranian. She is Iranian. I didn't even know she was black. Well, how did this woman get a green card in 2016 if she's Iranian and clearly has connections to the Iranian government? What idiot gave her a green card? He got. I'm not mad about it. I'm just saying. You're making me hungry. Is 11 p.m. too late for dinner? No, I mean, it's never too late for dinner. It depends on what type of, it depends, It's a gray area. That's all I'm saying. It is. I'm not saying, like, the guy was not a good person. He was an evil person. He was, responsible for probably millions of deaths in Africa. Like, he supplied both sides of wars in Africa and stuff like that. I'm just saying, like, what gave the U.S. the right to go get him? Like, one of the countries that he broke the law in should have who got him. I don't know. That's all I'm saying. Like, I don't know. She's scheduled to make her first court appearance on Monday. The criminal complaint filed by the federal officials in connection to the case said that the mafia allegedly facilitated a contract valued at more than 60 million euros for the sale of Iranian-made Mohajer 6 drones manufactured for the regime that were commissioned to be sold to Sudan. She also coordinated a Sudanese delegation to Iran and received $7 million in payments. What gave us the right to get Maduro? There's a difference there, and I will point it out. The difference is that Maduro was actively committing crimes against the U.S. by selling the drugs and stuff that were coming in. If he's the head of this cartel that's shipping drugs into the U.S., all right, then he's breaking U.S. laws. So now I don't understand, honestly, how they were able to charge Maduro with violations of the National Firearms Act. Like, how is somebody in Venezuela violating National Firearms Act laws in the U.S.? I don't know. I still want to see how they tie this together in a bow, if it ever goes there. I don't know. Let's just see. Now you want a Frito pie? They're good. Good questions. So, Jim, that's all I'm saying. I just ask questions here. That's all. Jim set my heart on a Frito pie. Can that identify as a pancake? Sure. Let's see what Gundam we got here. What he posted. Let's see what Gundam posted here. IMDb title. Lord of War. 2027. Oh my God, this is real? It's going to be Lords of War. So he discovers he has a son, Anton, who's trying to outdo his father by raising an army of mercenaries to fight in America's Middle East conflicts, triggering a father-son rivalry. Holy shit, this sounds like a good movie. Hold on. I'm just bringing this up because this sounds like a really good movie. Look at this. So it's supposed to come out in 2027. Yuri Orlov, the world's most famous arms dealer, discovers he has a son. He's trying to outdo his father by getting mercenaries to fight in America's conflicts. Looks like we don't have a synopsis. They don't have a synopsis of it, but so it says. It says that it's going to be. Andrew Nichols, the writer. Andrew Nichols, the director. It's going to have Bill Skarsgård in it. Oh, that's awesome. Bill Skarsgård's great, man. Nicolas Cage, Sylvia Hoeks. Post-production expected 2027. Yeah, Bill Skarsgård's great. Yeah, so I honestly, I hope to see this. This sounds like it will be really good. That's awesome. It sounds like it will be really good. I like good movies. Yes, Carano says the United States shall guarantee every state in this union a Republican form of government shall protect each of them from invasion and domestic violence. Yes, it's what they have to do. Mike gave us the right. Well, I don't like to think of it like that, but then you know what they say: the guys with the guns are the ones that makes the rules. U.S. Navy is creating a new channel, so how is Iran going to charge a toll? They're not. That's the thing. Anybody who pays a toll to Iran is violating UN sanctions and U.S. sanctions. Yeah, guns and drugs come into the U.S., money goes out. Sometimes guns also, a lot of guns do go out of the U.S. They do. A lot of guns go out of the U.S. Bringing in and harboring certain aliens, engaging in conspiracy to commit involuntary manslaughter, criminal negligence. Yes, that's what I say. There are clips already out. Oh, wow. Screw the bacon. I need Fritos. Great movie. I mentioned soap doesn't help like meds. It works in conjunction with meds, but meds much more effective. Once cleared up, a little yogurt prevents it, and dogs love the yogurt. Oh, you know what? You love Skarsgård? Yeah. The father is really good actor. He's kind of a douche, but the father's a really good actor. And there's another one. Is it Bill or Alexander Skarsgård? And Bill's the younger brother. And there's another one. I don't know. There's an older one that was in like was it Battleship? He was also in like I think he was in Invasion LA or Invasion. Was it Invasion LA? The one where the aliens came to LA and the Battleship one. He was also in the True Blood. The guy that was in True Blood is another Skarsgård guy. He's the son of the older Skarsgård guy that was in like if you ever watched like the Thor movies, the Doctor, that was a Skarsgård. He's also a director. The son, these are his sons, I believe. And the other one's a really good guy from True Blood. And if you want to see a great TV series, an excellent TV series on the 2003 invasion of Iraq by the Marines, it's called Generation Kill. I think it's HBO. Generation Kill. It's only 8 episodes. It covers the whole invasion. It's eye-opening for anybody who's never served. You almost missed a show tonight because I didn't recognize the thumbnail. Is this one the new normal? Mother Papillons, I think I'm going to be every night I'm going to have a different thumbnail just to see if that helps with YouTube. Because I don't know if someone told me, another person that does YouTube told me that the thumbnails being the same every night could have triggered something when they looked at it in their system to make them say that this is just the same shit every day. So I missed the $200 AK and cheap ammo. Let me tell you something. I'm old enough to remember when you used to be able to get SKSs for $36. Yeah. And you could buy them by the crate. Yeah. Battle LA. Yeah, he was in Battle LA, right? Alexander is hot. Generation Kill. Yeah. Alex is the older brother. Stellan is the dad. Yeah. I believe movies make you stupid and scared. No, I just watch them, Stellan Skarsgård. Yeah. Wow. What's wow? I don't think movies make you stupid and scared. I mean, that's just our entertainment. It's just entertainment, But the documentary Generation Kill is like legit. Like there was it was basically like the reporter that was attached to this Marine, the reporter that was with them wrote this along with people that were there. You know what I mean? Like actual people. It's not, it's not bullshit. It's like legit. And it's not like, it is not in any way, shape, or form cherry picked or like make anything look better than it was. It's no bullshit. What happens? What goes on? Yeah. Rudy Reyes plays himself. Yeah. Fruity Rudy. Yeah. Remember M1 Garands for $175 delivered to your door? Yeah. Used to be able to get M1 carbines for $115. Yeah. Now an M1 Garand, if you want an M1 Garand that's in decent shape right now, you're gonna pay. Like $1,500 to $2,000. It's ridiculous. I got 2 SKSs for $50 decades ago. I had to take both apart to get one to work. Yeah. Hey, Just on Solace Jenner, great to see you. She was also accused of brokering the sale of 55,000 bomb fuses to Sudanese Ministry of Defense, according to prosecutors who state that the Mafia did not attempt to obtain a license from the U.S. Treasury Office of Foreign Assets Control for the sales. Well, Rudy is smoking hot too. Yeah, he's ripped, that dude, man. He is. He's a straight up like a specimen. During interviews with U.S. Customs and Border Control officers and FBI, she acknowledged communicating with officers of Iran's Ministry of Intelligence and Security. Mafi also allegedly told the FBI that she could provide extensive information about the Iranian financial system and money laundering channels. that the Iranian regime uses. The arrest was made as the U.S. government increases economic pressure on Iran in the wake of the U.S.-Israeli campaign that includes thousands of strikes inside the country since February 28th. The Trump administration, which initiated a naval blockade of the Iranian ports last week, is sending a team to Pakistan Monday to hold more talks. Hey, what's up, Dan? Great to see you. Thanks for being here. Oh, I didn't notice that was you, Dan, that said that. I don't know. My brain is like not. You got a competition grade M1 for 1,200 back in 2014. Yeah. Waco FBI fuck day today. Yeah. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent told reporters at the White House briefing that the United States plans to ramp up economic pain on Iran and said the new moves will be the financial equivalent of a bombing campaign. Bessent said the Trump administration has told companies, we have told countries that if you are buying Iranian oil, that if Iranian money is sitting in your banks, we are now willing to apply secondary sanctions, which is the very stern measure. And the Iranians should know that this is going to be the financial equivalent of what we saw in the kinetic activities. So what they're telling people is if you're buying Iranian oil, we're going to seize the money out of your bank accounts. That's what they're telling people, which it kind of makes, and this is just my opinion, I don't know, but it kind of makes the countries that said, hey, we're going to do this BRICS thing because we don't like the Americans having control over the SWIFT system and being able to do all this stuff, kind of makes them have a point, a little bit, to say like, well, we got to have another system because you basically can control who we can do business with, which, yeah, but I don't know. Besant's locking them down. Yeah, he is. It's not clear if Mafi has legal representation. That was at the beginning of the Obama gun scare era. Remember when ammo prices shot through the roof, partly out of nowhere? The federal government had suddenly been buying out the market. Yes. I remember when 22 ammo was like impossible to get. It was crazy during the Obama administration. Like, why 22 ammo? What were they doing with all that 22 ammo? But yeah, the Obama administration basically had every government, just to spend money, go around and buy up all the ammo they could get. Like basically any excess ammo that was, they also, I believe they also tried to prevent Lake City, which is the largest producer of that produces most 90% of the military ammo, Lake City ammo plant. I think it's either in Missouri or Minnesota. I think it's Missouri. Anyway, the government was going to try to prevent them from selling the oversupply to the public, which the facilities are ran like every so often a new contract gets for a different ammo manufacturer to take over those plants and use them and run them to create the ammo and then sell it to the military. And they're allowed to sell everything else they met. Lake City's on strike right now. What? Really? Hey, Masonic says that we have free Persia, non-terrestrial visitor species. I agree. You're from Illinois State death penalty. Reinstate the Illinois State death penalty in memoriam, Lily Belbova. You have stockpiles of ammo here at your house because everything you live in your Obama administration. Well, I mean, this is not advice. I'm not telling anybody what to do, but I mean, it would make common sense to look at how you would, if something was to happen and you couldn't get grocery stores, to get food and you couldn't, get stuff, like you need to have, like everyone should have 3 months supplies in their house at all times. 3 months is a minimum to have for stuff like food, water. Make sure you've got like bottled water, different things. You've got purification tablets, stuff like that. Different light sources, batteries. If you have generators, you want to have fuel on hand and stuff, stuff like that. But like, if you have to go and get food and there's nowhere to get it, where you got to go out and like get a deer or get something, you can fish, but you might want to have some stuff where you can get it. And then you also got to think, if it's that bad and people are out there getting food, you might want to have some way to protect what you have so someone else can't come get it. That's all I'm saying. But yes, dry goods and water are easy to keep stocked. Yeah, canned goods, canning. If you don't, you should look at these old things. These old, like the people learned the stuff to, like canning their own stuff. You can your own pickles. You can your own tomatoes. You can actually can your own ground beef. There's a way to can it yourself, seal it. You make ground beef, you seal it with like the grease on top and you seal it. And the stuff will last, I think, like without refrigeration, over a year. the beef stays good. I don't know, you know. There are ammo shortages for some military units. Have a suspicion that some purchases were fill needs without admitting an issue. No, you're good. You're good. Or just have ammo to get food from others. Well, you want to have ammo to prevent people from coming and taking your food and your stuff. That's, you know, it's not clear if Mafi has a legal representation. That's the thing. You want to have it to protect your stuff. So here, the Gateway Pundit says, Iranian woman with a green card busted at LAX for trafficking drones, bombs, and millions of rounds of ammo. You need to pressure can meat, but if you do, it lasts a long time, just like cans of tuna. I've seen it done in like mason jars though, with like the grease on top. Is that not? I've seen people say that lasts if you pour the grease on top, and the grease creates an airtight seal. Is that not true? I'll have to look into it more. I probably shouldn't say stuff like that if I don't know exactly. Wow, look at all that cash she had. That's a lot of cash to be having. You see it all? Huh. That's a lot of Benjamins. Grease will seal it longer. That's what I thought. I thought you pour the grease on top. It creates like a thick thing of grease. I think ammo and guns as well as camping guns are tax-free in Florida for a few months out of the year during the hurricane season. They're right now in Florida until July 4th, I believe, ammo and guns are tax-free in Florida. I believe that's what DeSantis did. I think so. Not 100%. Yes, when you pressure can the meat, it's in a glass jar. Oh, okay. All right. Congrats on whoever caught this chick. What is she doing with all that? Well, she's Amish use this method. That's what I thought. Yeah. Ground beef in a jar, water bath 3 hours. I do it all the time. Okay. Camping goods. Okay. Low acid foods like meat need to be pressure canned so you don't give yourself botulism. Cured meat from a smokehouse and sausage in the grease lasts about 18 months. DeSantis passed it in 2014, I think. Yeah. Yeah. It's like every year for the first, it's like it's not from the first of the year to July 4th, but it's like 3 or 4 months where it's tax-free or something like that. In California to fill out and pass eligibility to buy ammo. Yeah, it sucks. But I think I believe that case, that's one of Benitez's cases. I believe that case might actually, they might actually have to take away that whole thing. Because I know they had the Freedom Week for the ammo, didn't they, for a while, or Freedom Month, and then they had Freedom Week or was it Freedom Month for the magazines and Freedom Week? She was living in Woodland Hills. She faces a federal charge, statutory mandatory maximum of 20 years in prison. So last night, Samim Mafi of Woodland Hills was arrested at Los Angeles International Airport for trafficking arms on behalf of the government of Iran. She's charged with violation of USC 1705 or broken to sell drones, bombs, and fuses, and millions of rounds of ammunition. Wow. I mean, look at this. If convicted, she faces 20 years. She's expected to make her initial appearance on Monday. So this is her getting arrested. There's the drones and planes and stuff she sold. That's her. And this is the money they caught her with. What do you know? Where was this? Where'd they find this? That's a lot of dim. That's a lot of dim. That's a lot of dim. I live among the Mormons. We have 2 years of food, medical, freedom seeds. Yeah, you need to have stuff like that. You should. You know, it's hard. Lady of war. Yeah. Thanks, Obama. Gentlemen, you absolutely cannot fix this. There's a lot of stuff on her and her connections online, one being an oncologist in Calabasas, whom she's in business with under Naval Enterprises. I hope these others are investigated too. Oh, yeah, so she's involved in a whole bunch of other businesses. What is Novo Businesses? Vice President of Atlas Group, Novo Enterprises. Yeah, what is going on here? Iran has called for death to America for 47 years. Why would immigration fail to take a hard look at every Iranian who's requested to live in our midst? You can bet when Biden opened our borders, hundreds of Iranian operatives jumped in the free flow of Americans. Yeah. If someone in the U.S. is caught with 2 shotguns that have the barrel cut a half inch too short, they'd be facing 20 years. The same sentence as this woman who was trafficking arms with terrorists? Make it make sense. First sentence says she's at Woodland Hills. Later, we learn she's an Iranian citizen. Woodland Hills is an upscale neighborhood within the city of Malibu, north of Malibu, city of Los Angeles. Woodland Hills. That's right by Tarzana and Calabasas. Calabasas is not a cheap place to live either. That's the Getty Museum, Pacific Palisades, Malibu. Wow. Wow. One reported deal involved a contract for $70 million for Iranian-made drones. Prosecutors also allege phone records show she direct contact with Iran's Ministry of Intelligence. The alleged gunrunner has posted glamorous photos of herself from all over the world. One photo she's seen posing in a $100,000 Mercedes Roadster. Okay. Well, let's go. This is going to be, it says the New York Post has these pictures. So let's look at the pictures. Calabasas is where Kobe's chopper crashed. Do we think the Iranians knew their arms deal was a woman? I think there's other people involved. You know, I mean, she's perfect. They don't care. See, the Iranians don't care if it helps them get away with something. You know, Somali pirates stole U.S. tax dollars, bought these drones. There, I bet too. Yeah, probably. Hey, Musically Medicated. What's up? Great to see you. Thanks for being here. Woodland Hills is still in the San Fernando Valley. Well, thank you. I appreciate you popped in and showed the show some love. I really do. I appreciate that a lot. So, glam Iranian businesswoman busted at LAX charged with helping regime sell drones, bombs, and ammo. Oh, another ad? A second ad? Seriously? 2 ads. Wow, what do you know? 2 ads. Huh. Thanks a lot. Oh, this is not going to have any sound to it. Just drone footage shows the home of a businesswoman. So this is her home. Is it the one with the pool? Are those condos? That's like a condos to me. It don't look like a big house. It just looks like a condo. Tenebra says these illegal arms sales always happen in California with involvement from powerful California politicians who are almost always the most anti-2A. Remember Representative Leland Yee? Yeah. And also, did you guys know you guys saw that story? You guys saw the story about the former lieutenant governor of Virginia who killed his wife and then killed himself. And he was completely anti-gun. He was all this anti-gun stuff, but he shot himself and then shot his wife. It's like, well, maybe he shouldn't have had a gun, but I don't think guys that, would do something like shoot themselves, wives, or shoot their wives and then shoot themselves should be telling us what we should do with guns. Because I don't value their opinion at all. Back in the day, Woodland Hills might have been considered an okay place to live. Not today. Lots of places in the valley were very affordable at one time. I had a 2-bedroom in Reseda until the Northridge earthquake. Did the Iranian arms dealer pay the extra 11% tax on ammo in California? Those are townhomes. I doubt she paid any tax on it. The Three Monkeys is like Gavin Newsom is also in California. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, okay. So they're just showing her house or where she lives. That doesn't make any sense. So a glamorous Iranian businesswoman with a green card was arrested at LAX. She conducted the arms deals while in close contact with the Ministry of Intelligence. Oh, here she is. Look at her in her Mercedes. Wow. Yeah. Why is this not working? Why is it not working for me? She's charged with violation of 50 U.S.C. 1705 for brokering the sale of drones, bombs, bomb fuses, and ammo. She left Iran in 2013 and became a permanent resident in the U.S. in 2016. Wow. She left Iran in 2013. So right when the Obama administration was making deals with the Iranians for the, for all that, the Iranian nuclear deal, when Obama was giving them money and all this other stuff was going on, she came to the U.S. almost like it was all a plan. And got her green card in 2016. allegedly used an Oman registered company, Atlas International Business, to broker weapons deals. Among the sales was a contract for $70 million. And so they sent it to Sudanese military. They've been fighting a bloody civil war since 2023. It is a coincidence, isn't it? Help me, I live in California. I left LA permanently in March of 94. The earthquake was the final blow. So Iran has been repeatedly violating the UN nation's arms embargo. Civil wars claim 61,000 to hundreds of thousands of lives. Well, that's a big difference. 61,000 or hundreds of thousands. And the recent mass deaths in Darfur have the hallmarks of a genocide. Yeah, but why don't we hear anybody saying anything about the genocide, right? I mean, shouldn't they be out there protesting in the streets? Free Sudanese, stop the genocide, please. Free Sudanese, stop the genocide, please. That they could be chanting that instead of this free. Buy one Palestine, get one free. The conflict has displaced 9 million people, making it the worst displacement crisis on the planet. Phone records indicate she had contact with the Ministry of Intelligence and Security. You're north of Santa Clarita. Mafti and her company were also accused of purposely going through channels in Turkey and UAE to conduct the sales to skirt U.S. detection. She showed off her luxurious lifestyle. I don't know. Is that like an expensive purse or something? Or, I mean, I don't know. Expensive outfit. She's home. Her home in Woodland Hills. So she lives in a townhouse. I mean, the most outlandish and unhinged arguments from anti-gun nuts that characterize those of us who are protective of the Second Amendment are often confessing to their own psychological weakness and irrationalities. Jim, yes and yes. Okay. No hijab. No hijab at all. Her social media accounts show her living in the lap of luxury in California and showing off business trips in Turkey. She told investigators that she's never been tasked by the MOS to conduct any activities for Tehran in the U.S. She's never been tasked by them to do anything in the U.S. Huh. A probe into her past shows Tehran had seized properties that she inherited from her father in 2020, with MOIS then directing her to open a business in the U.S. to buy the properties back from the Iranian government. Wow. That's crazy. That's a nice, what's that, an SL 550? So that's a $110,000 car. She was going to fly to Istanbul before she was apprehended. Well, yeah, she was probably on her way out. She was flying to Istanbul and then probably going to go from Istanbul back to Iran. MIS had offered to buy the startup, for the startup costs. What? That don't make any sense. Mafti had allegedly said that she was more useful to Iran to MOIS in Iran than in the United States. The businesswoman was scheduled to fly to Istanbul on Saturday when she was met by law enforcement officers. She was fleeing. I think she was fleeing. Yeah, I think she was fleeing. Central Coast is beautiful. I've lived all over California, OC, NorCal, Landon, and Ventura County for now. I think she's going to sing like a canary to try to get out of it. And they're probably going to give her a deal. And she's probably going to be just like, Boot. They're going to let her go. She's going to go away. And then they'll catch her later down the road or something for something else. I don't know. If she gives up information that helps them track down illicit avenues, for Iranian cash, where how Iran moves money, and they're not, without them knowing, and they were able to seize a bunch of other money, they'll cut her a good deal. They don't care, really. So they don't have a representative cannot be reached for comment. OC used to be really nice, except for Santa Ana. It's too bad counterintelligence agents can't pose with her like a fish trophy. I mean, honestly, why, K-Bean, why wouldn't it have been better to not publicize this, to take her without anybody knowing and tell her basically to grab her and just be like, "But listen, we know what you're up to. We want you to work for us instead." Like try to turn her. You know what I mean? To try to like stop, basically to intercept stuff Iran's doing, right? She'll be well liked in prison. Yeah. She might work for the CIA or FBI, hire people. Maybe that's what I'm saying. Like, why wouldn't she? Why wouldn't you have her work for the CIA? Let's see. Well, let's see if Fox has an actual story about it. Looks like it's only 19 seconds long.
Today, FBI Los Angeles' Organized Crime Task Force, along with Glendale PD, Los Angeles PD, and the IRS served 11 arrest warrants in and around the Southland area. This investigation also had subjects in Sacramento, California, Tampa, Florida, and Calgary, Canada. This was in support of a major organized crime and fraud investigation.
Okay, that has nothing to do with what we were talking about. What the fuck?
But every president has said since.
That has nothing to do with the story. So 200 and she helped arrange the sale of 55,000 bomb fuses, 10 million rounds of AK ammunition, and a separate proposed contract for 240 million rounds. That's a lot of AK ammo, 240 million rounds. Wow. I would, you know what? I would have preferred if they would have Calgary, you're in Calgary. I would have preferred this might make other people act uncharacteristically. It might. It depends. We may be trying to flush others out. Oh, you're right. They could be doing that. If you have time, can you talk about the Nancy Guthrie case and what opinion is? I don't know about the Nancy Guthrie case. They're still trying to find her, right? They haven't found the body. They haven't found her or nothing. Like at first, I thought maybe for 240 million rounds of AK ammo, probably. I mean, not. Probably like a penny a round or something like that. I would imagine, or 10 cents a round tops. For that amount, 240 rounds. So you're probably talking about like, 2.4 million maybe, or 24 million, something like that, maybe tops, somewhere around there for all of it. Yeah, if we caught her, we know her entire network. Yeah. I personally, in my opinion, when it first happened, I thought it was like maybe like a cartel connection because of where she lived. Like somebody grabbed her, they wanted, but I don't know. Like, she lives close to the border and everything to, What do I think was on that ship that put the pedal to the metal for something not just oil? There was no oil. That was not an oil tanker. That was a cargo ship that was bringing cargo into Iran, a fully loaded cargo ship full of stuff going into Iran. So what you have to just ask yourself, what would Iran be willing to run a blockade and try to sneak in like that they have to have? Weapons. It's got to be weapons on there. It's got to be weapons. Got to be weapons. Yeah. Cargo of weapons. Yeah, that's it. That's the only thing that makes any sense. They tried to run the blockade because they had weapons. Iran needs weapons. It could be coming from China, more than likely coming from China, weapons from China. And if the U.S., because Trump already warned China that if we catch them trying to resupply Iran, that they're getting a 50% tariff. So if they find out that those are Chinese weapons that came from China, it's going to keep spiraling out of control. All right. I think we beat this story. All to heck. Okay. All right. Then next story right here. 8 children dead after mass shooting in Louisiana. Victims range from 18 months to 15 years old. This is crazy. I bet Iran's going to say it was baby formula and medical supplies. Could be. But I don't, I say I doubt it. Yeah, 8 children ranging from 18 months to 14 years old were killed early Sunday morning after what is being called a domestic dispute escalated into a mass shooting. Well, total of 10 people were shot during the incident. Wow. In addition to the 8 children, 2 adult women were also shot and survived their injuries. Police believe some of the child victims were related to the suspect. A total of 10 people were shot, the only survivor being 2 adult women, with one suffering from life-threatening injuries. One of the women is believed to be in some kind of relationship with the suspect. Police also say the woman has life-threatening injuries, is believed to be shot in the head.
Alrighty, guys. I'm gonna. Just so I'm not sure if you all can see that. That's what Shreveport police said. The youngest does go as young as.
This is just somebody.
They're.
All right. We don't really need to watch that. So the suspect fled the initial scene by carjacking a vehicle at gunpoint. Officers pursued him to a neighborhood of Bossier City, where he was fatally shot by law enforcement. Louisiana police are investigating. No officers were injured. The overall investigation remains active as authorities work to process multiple crime scenes. It's a breaking news story. Police identify suspect who killed 8 kids, most believed to be his own, after a multi-scene domestic rampage. This probably isn't going to even be it. It's going to be some bull crap. It's not going to be the headline. You always get me, Fox. You always get me, Fox. So police identified Shamar Elkins as a suspect in a domestic violence rampage that left 8 children dead and 2 women shot early Sunday before he was killed in a confrontation with officers. Just for fun, since she was an investigative journalist in her heyday, what if Nancy Guthrie was onto something about the deaths and disappearance of all those nuclear science folks? That's very interesting. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, though, Mr. Medici, or whatever, our Medici, if I'm not mistaken, I think she suffers from like severe dementia or something like that, right? And she has certain medications she has to take daily. So, I mean, but that would be a. Yes, when the news breaks, Jim fixes it. So Shreveport police identified Shamar Elkins as a suspect, saying 7 of the children are believed to be his, ranging from about 1 to 14. Shreveport Corporal Christopher Bardone released Elkins' identity while speaking. Identity. What the hell was wrong with me? No, a heart problem? She had a heart problem? Okay. I saw. Why did I? I thought that one of the like press conferences with the family, I thought one of them said she might be confused or something. I don't know. Oh, her mind is sharp, they say? Okay. Along with the children, Elkins is accused of shooting the mother of his children, who's expected to survive, as well as another woman who's suffering from life-threatening injuries. A teenage victim also sustained injuries considered non-life-threatening. Wow. This is terrible. This is brutal. According to investigators, the suspect first shot a woman on Harrison Street before traveling to a residence on West 79th Street. She's dead now? Who's dead now? This woman or Nancy Mace? Not Nancy Mace. I'm sorry. What the hell's wrong with Nancy Mace? Nancy Guthrie. Someone said I thought she had a pacemaker, I think is what he's saying. Too much time has passed. Oh, yeah, probably. She might have been dead from the beginning. Like, I thought maybe some of these people I personally thought some of these people asking for ransoms might not even be involved. They were just They were just trying to get some money and trying to screw around. I thought maybe that. Don't do drugs, okay? Okay. Okay. Don't do drugs, okay? Guthrie. Yeah. Nancy Guthrie. What did I say? Guthrie? Did I say something else? So the vehicle, they initiated a pursuit. The chase continued to Bossier Parish. Bossier, right? Parish. Officers confronted the suspect and opened fire, killing him at the scene. Louisiana State Police have taken over the investigation into the officer-involved shooting, while Shreveport Police continue to investigate the murders. They're asking anyone with information, photos, or video to please come forward. I just don't know what to say. My heart is taken aback, Shreveport Police Chief Wayne Smith said. I cannot begin to imagine how such an event can occur. Nancy Mace. Nancy Mace is she's that TV reporter, the TV lady. Beausure Parish. Oh, Beausure. Okay, I don't know. To me, it looks like Bossier or Bossier or something like that, but Beausure. This is an extensive scene, unlike anything most of us have ever seen. Shreveport Mayor Tom Arcanu called the situation tragic, adding it may be the worst the city has ever faced. It's a terrible morning. Officials say they were still gathering details about the crime scene. It says Elkins previously served in the Louisiana Army National Guard from 2013 to 2020, though he was never deployed. Bouger, kind of like Hoosier, but with a B. We are starting, Jim tells you, Reloading Club in the 805. Oh, there you go. Have at it. Yeah. It's a great thing to do. Good thing. What's this? What is that? Oh, that's a beautiful picture, Brian. Is that where you're camping right now? Or is that where you used to camp there? Oh, that's 2022. It's a beautiful picture from 2022. So Brian shared this nice picture where he used to camp in 2022. That looks beautiful. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Mm-hmm. Sometimes Jim reads like Richard. Like Richard who? Cocaine gun. Like, what do you mean like Richard? Like a dick? Sometimes I read. You're saying I read like a dick sometimes? I heard they go crazy drinking Indian spirits. Huh. Who's your daddy? Shamar D. Elkins served the Louisiana National Guard as a signal support systems specialist, 25U, and fire support specialist, 13F. OLP. Okay. An Army official told the Fox News Digital that he has no deployment. He left the Army as a private. Well, that's a long. How can you be in the Army for 7 years and still be a private? That seems like, yeah. That seems kind of crazy. House Speaker Mike Johnson said his thoughts and prayers are with the Shreveport community following this heartbreaking tragedy. Heartbreaking tragedy in Shreveport this morning. 8 children were senselessly killed. Multiple others were injured. My team's in touch with the local law enforcement for more details as they emerge. Yeah, he left a private. To me, that means, honestly, he got into some trouble or something happened. Like he got busted back down. A lot of Article 15s. Something, right? Something happened. Something happened. Something happened. That's what I'm saying. Something happened. We are holding the victims, their families, and our loved ones in our Shreveport community close in our thoughts and prayers during this incredibly difficult time. We're grateful to Shreveport, Boozer, Bossier, whatever it is, and the Louisiana State Police for their swift response. City leaders said the attack had an immediate and staggering impact, with one councilman noted it more than doubled Shreveport's homicide total in a single act. I've struggled all morning since I woke up, Councilman Grayson Boucher Boucher said over 30% of our crimes and 30% of our murders in the city of Shreveport are domestic in relations. Now that number has gone up. We more than doubled our homicides in Shreveport because of one act of domestic violence. How many illegals here and still? How many still illegals here in the U.S.? I would say my personal opinion. My personal opinion is there's still at least 70 million illegals in the U.S. right now. At least. That's my opinion. Everybody was all hopped up on goof pills. Probably. How the fuck do you get an Article 15 in the National Guard when you're never deployed? I don't know. Something happened. How do you how are you still a private, a buck private after 7 years? Even in the National Guard. I mean, 70 million's what? Illegal aliens. 70 million illegal aliens in the U.S. That's my opinion. Based on what I see and the data I see, the number of crimes committed, the percentage of the people that are in prisons that are illegal aliens. You think it's closer to 120 million? It could be, but I think it's at least 70. Probably drugs. Yeah, probably drugs. That's probably how he got to drugs. Drugs. He probably pissed hot a couple times. Where's the goal? Well, the goal right now is we are $100 away from a second hour. We got one additional hour, so we got a whole nother hour show. But we hit the first goal. We got 100 to go for the second goal, so we'll see what happens. 1/3 of our country, probably. Bozer, I wrote it out, but this is what Google says. Bonjour. Reduced in rank for disciplinary problems. Yeah. I mean, I would have to guess. I mean, that's the only guess I could make at this point, how that could happen. You know, that's the only explanation is how somebody could still be a buck private, E1, after 7 years, even in the National Guard. Says illegals who were carted in by the CIA and FBI. A bunch of them were. Yes, they were. No way. That's way too high. Maybe 20 million. They know for a fact 20 million came in, Gilly Claude. They know for a fact 20 million came in during Biden's 4 years that they know of. 20 million came in during Biden's 4 years that they know of. How many came in? They don't know of. Mm-hmm. Any news on Alberta coming to be our USA state here, Jim? I haven't seen that anywhere more than just scuttlebutt. Getting busted down in the nasty girls without deploying is kind of impressive. Yeah. Busted down. Double jeopardy doesn't save you from the UCMJ. So I'm saying he probably just kept doing the same stupid shit over and over again. Maybe he didn't show up to some deployments or something. Like not deployments like going overseas, but like to his 1 weekend a month and 1 month a year. Maybe he missed or was late or didn't come back or did something. He got busted down. Who knows? It says we can have 100 new police cars. We can have a brand new, beautiful multi-million-dollar police substation right up the road. But until we stop this violence, the cycle of violence, we're just going to be standing here and it's going to get worse. The First Nations are pitching a fit against Alberta leaving. Other officials echoed the concern, stressing the shooting underscores the danger of domestic disputes and the need for earlier intervention. Councilwoman Tabitha Taylor emphasized the severity of the case and urged the community to take warning signs seriously. Sure. $21 a day, once a month. From what I've learned about this instance, it's domestic in nature. That makes it even more horrific. This is not a freaking joke. This is real, and this results when someone snaps. My experience is that if you don't show up after a while, they just drop you from the rolls unless you're actually deploying. I check out the Ultra Silver yet for the dog. I ordered some. I'm still waiting for it to show up. I did order some. Thank you. Yes, you can stop the illegals by arresting all the employers who hire them. It will stop immediately. I agree. I 100% agree. Arrest all the people who hire them. Any of these businesses that hire them, they know they're illegals. They're hiring them anyway. Arrest them. Arrest them or fine the shit out of them. Like, oh, you arrested, you hired this illegal and you do it. Oh, that's $1 million fine. Have a nice day. Gunman kills 8 kids, including 7 of his own. That's a crazy story. Crazed Louisiana dad fatally shot 8 kids, including 7 of his own children, wounding 2 women during a rampage. Wow. I want to see if this is actually going to be a story about this or if it's going to be some bull crap. I have a feeling it's not. Is there 7 of the slain kids were children of the murderous deranged dad, the 31-year-old Army vet. Wait a minute. So this guy was 31 years old, had 7 kids.
A shooting that occurred just after 6 a.m. In doing so, we've determined that this was a domestic call in nature. The responding officers located a crime scene here in the 300 block of West 79th Street, and this is a rather extensive crime scene spanning between 2 residences here. There is also another residence on Harrison Street that is part of this crime scene as well. Right now, we have at least 10 individuals that were struck by gunfire last night in a domestic disturbance. 8 of these individuals are deceased. The ranges of the decedents are from 1 year of age to approximately 14 years of age. The individual responsible, once leaving this scene, performed a carjacking right here in close proximity to the corner of West 79th and Linwood, at which point in time, Shreveport Police patrol officers got behind that vehicle and a chase ensued. The vehicle was chased into Bossier Parish, and at which point in time, Shreveport police officers did discharge their firearm, and that individual is deceased. We do believe him to be the only individual that fired gunshots at these locations here. He is deceased, and Louisiana State Police will be taking over that portion in which the Shreveport police officers discharged their firearms.
E-Verify doesn't do nothing. E-Verify doesn't do nothing.
This is a very large scene with multiple deceased children.
Yeah, unfortunately, E-Verify doesn't do nothing. Basically, the E-Verify comes in. It says, "Oh, Bossier, yeah." E-Verify. E-Verify. They say, "Oh, they use a stolen ID. They use stolen stuff, stolen papers." Nothing like asking your dad why he looks so sad, and he says he just did CPR on a 2-year-old for half an hour. You ain't kidding. Why? Because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. The E-Verify. They don't do anything. They don't do nothing. The E-Verify goes out and the system says, "Oh yeah, that's a real social security number," even though it doesn't. It's been used by 20 different people in 20 different states. The system is screwed. It doesn't allow the way they have set up the system. It doesn't allow for like them to do any type of cross talking or anything. It's just, is this an actual person? Is all it really does. It's crazy. You got to really look into it. E-Verify has 0 teeth. It does nothing. It doesn't. Yeah, not when everyone has the same number. Yeah, but that's the thing. It doesn't make E-Verify just says, "Yeah, that's a real social security number. It matches the name they gave you." That's it. And then it's like, "Oh, but it's been used by 50 people." They don't care. It doesn't do anything. It's screwed. It is screwed. Under the table, people don't use E-Verify. Yeah, but yeah, that's another thing. Anybody they're hiring people under the table, that's completely different. That should be even more harshly punished. Yeah, it recognizes the card complies with social security card number requirements, but doesn't verify it is being illegally used. Yeah, that's all it does. It just verifies that the name matches the system of the card, and that the person whose card that is, is a citizen, has a right to work. That's it. That's all it does. It doesn't even identify if the person's dead. Like it could be someone who's been dead for 40 years, and it doesn't say, hey, that person's been dead for 40 years. No. The system is broken. It's really broken. Cops found 7 murdered children in one house. Oh my God, this is so brutal. So brutal. Look at the blood on the door. That's brutal. Most of the kids were shot in the head while they slept. Oh my God. Come on. He used a small caliber handgun for the initial killings, was carrying a rifle style pistol when he was apprehended. The killer also shot the two mothers of his children. So he had 2 baby mamas and shot all the kids and the 2 baby mamas. Wow. Shot his wife, with whom he shared 4 kids, at the home with his children, and the mother of his 3 kids at a separate home nearby. So this guy was 31, had a wife with 4 kids, and then had the mother of his 3 other kids at a separate home. Crystal Brown, one of the surviving victim's cousins, told the outlet that Elkins and his wife were in the process of formally separating and were due in court on Monday. They didn't wake from the sound of the first gunshot. I think they're trying to say he used a small caliber, like he used like a 22. Maybe he had a suppressor. Maybe he had like a potato on it. Maybe he had a pillow. I don't know. Maybe he had a 2-liter bottle. I don't know. She said the pair were arguing about their separation when he opened fire. At least one of the women suffered life-threatening injuries. We have 3 crime scenes in Shreveport. One of them is incredibly gruesome. This is so sick. Yes, poor babies. Yeah, I know some of the suspect children resided there. I'm not sure at one point if he lived there. There were audible gasps as Bordelon revealed the ages of the deceased. The crime scenes in Shreveport were just described as extensive and spanned 2 homes on the same street and a third on a nearby street. After the shootings, the gunman carjacked the vehicle, tried to escape. The individual responsible, once leaving the scene, performed the carjacking right here in close proximity to the corner. And officers got behind the vehicle and chased an incident. No officers were injured. It's an extensive scene like none we've ever seen. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's a tragic situation. It is. Governor Landry said he and his wife Sharon were heartbroken over the events. We're praying for everyone. We're deeply grateful to law enforcement officers and first responders. Heartbreaking tragedy. We saw this. How did he not have a psych evaluation before that someone failed in their reporting? Like, I would think somebody in the military would have known he has mental problems, right? Like, would have been aware to somebody maybe that he had this issue. When did it say he got out? 2020? 2013 to 2020? Is that what he was in? Oh, look at all that gold. Where's all that gold? Unless there was a camera in the house, you can't know the order of the killings. Yeah, I don't know why they always try to say they think they know the order unless somebody saw something, someone survived to tell them. My golden rules: don't mess with children, don't mess with elders, don't mess with animals. They're all unable to defend themselves. So I will. Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, before I get into the next story about this other shooting, there was something I wanted to show you guys because it's nuts, man. It's nuts. Oh, wait, there was this article. I forgot. All right, about this story. Before I get to that, there was this from Mr. Guns and Gears. He says, according to local Shreveport police, because I think he's from that area. I think Mr. Guns and Gears is from down there. He reportedly led police on a high-speed chase, killed 8 of his children, shot his wife before eventually being killed by responding officers. I don't know. Is this the same?
This morning, officers responded to a shooting that
looking at eating some crawfish
just after 6 a.m. In doing so,
Now I'm even more confused by this. All right, and I got to ask this question. Doesn't it appear to you that most of these kids are around the same ages? I mean, there is an older kid, but some of these younger kids all look like they're around the same age. How does he have? I mean, I know the answer, but I mean, he has a wife and another girlfriend that have kids at the same times, overlapping, stuff like this. I mean, I wonder how many I wonder how much child support was being withheld from his payments. Maybe that's not like a lot of stuff must have been getting held out for these kids. He made him one after another. That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like. I mean, because if you look, like, they got this 1, 2, 3, these 5 right here all look like they're within a couple of years of each other. Like, this one's the youngest, obviously. This one's the oldest, but these other ones, they're really damn close in age. Really damn close in age.
So we determined that this was a domestic call in nature. The responding officers located a crime scene here in the 300 block of West 79th Street, and this is a rather extensive crime scene spanning between 2 residences here. There is also another residence on Harrison Street that is part of this crime scene as well. Right now, we have at least 10 individuals that were struck by gunfire last night in a domestic disturbance. 8 of these individuals are deceased. The ranges of the decedents are from 1 year of age to approximately 14 years of age. All of the deceased in this case were juvenile. The individual responsible, once leaving this scene, performed a carjacking right here in close proximity to the corner of West 79th and Linwood, at which point in time, Shreveport Police patrol officers got behind that vehicle and a chase ensued. The vehicle was chased into Bossier Parish, and at which point in time, Shreveport police officers did discharge their firearm, and that individual is deceased. We do believe him to be the only individual that fired gunshots at these locations here. He is deceased, and Louisiana State Police will be taking over that portion in which the Shreveport police officers discharged their firearms. So we don't have any more information on the shooting that occurred at Bossier. What we can tell you is this is a domestic disturbance here in the 300 block of West 79th Street. This is a very large scene with multiple.
Must have been for his domestic interest. He had 3 houses living near each other. Or is he a Mormon or Islamic, multiple sister wives? Something. There's something.
Getting information out. We'll release the name of the suspect.
Did they do that? Is that like if he was like a? I mean, if he was like a Moorish, one of those Moorish citizens, like one of those people, he wouldn't have been in the National Guard, right? I mean, could he be like a? I don't know. I mean, none of them are wearing any hijabs or anything like that. So I don't know, you know. And definitely Muslims won't eat shellfish, right? Or is that right? Muslims don't eat shellfish. So he's not a Muslim. I don't know. Something.
Deceased. When we have made the proper notifications, we do know that some of the children inside were his deceased.
And an ex-wife and a new wife he was divorcing. Not so, man. This is a heartbreaking story. Heartbreaking story. There was a couple things. Not that. Here's this about the feds arresting the Iranian woman. We're gonna do that. A man was charged with attempted rape. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. Where is it? This one. Okay, this thing. This thing is crazy. This is crazy. All right. Homeless people are using dogs, all right, to test drugs on them on Skid Row. Muslims eat oysters, no problem. I didn't know. 7 were his. Yeah. I think you're thinking bacon. Well, no, I thought they were like I thought halal and kosher were pretty similar, because kosher you can't eat shellfish and stuff like that, and pork, and you don't. But I didn't know if halal was the same thing. Because I thought they were pretty similar. That's all. Nonprofit group Starts With One Today says dogs are being abused, thrown away, sold for drugs, neglected, and fed drugs to make sure there's no fentanyl in it. Animal advocates are ripping Mayor Karen Bass and other elected officials for not taking enough action. We're coming out here, risking our lives to help these dogs with no support from the government. And look at these dogs. Look what's going on there. Look at this. This is crazy.
Look at his leg.
Moorish, not sovereign. I thought those Moorish people were all the sovereign citizen ones, the ones that say we're here because of the treaty with the Moorish, the treaty of the Moorish treaty or something like that. They're similar, but it depends on the specific sect. Okay. This is brutal. Look at the way this dog is tied up there.
Oh. Oh.
Look at all these dogs. Why are they doing this to the dogs? What the fuck? And then Julio Rosas, who's a great reporter, he said, I did a report about this, which starts with one today in February. However bad you think it is, it's really worse. So this was from February. Skid Row's underdogs, volunteers confront widespread dog abuse in LA. The video is tough to see, but it's important to understand what's happening in just one part of LA because this has been a long-standing problem. Like,
you want shade, he has to go under the RV. And look at all the flies around him. Yeah. Not okay. I guess it's not, you know?
I know, Mama. I know. You want a bit? Yeah.
Yeah, what is he doing?
His dog looks weird.
Yeah.
He's
Oh.
limping. We gotta go.
oh.
No, but it's a one-way street.
Oh, shit. That dog is like fucked.
If you're from Southeast Asia, shellfish is halal. Okay. This is awesome.
All right, guys, Julio Rosas
Awful,
here with
awful.
Mostly Peaceful Media. So we're going to have something a little bit different today. No protests or riots, but we are here in Los Angeles. Not too long ago, someone on X messaged me and said, hey, you should reach out to this guy who is with a group of volunteers because they do basically rescue work.
They do rescue work. All right, let's see.
I met up with is called Start With One Today. Volunteers with Start With One Today, like Joey and Victoria, say that while the city of Los Angeles has announced some programs to crack down on animal abuse on Skid Row, it has barely been a drop in the bucket.
Fifth in town.
Do you mind if I start recording?
Of course.
Yeah, okay.
We set up and we feed about like 300, almost up to 500 people, both families, animals, and adults. We've been doing that for 5 years. And then, we obviously witnessed the animal crisis in LA, and it's definitely a big area of why it's happening. It's because of Skid Row, because of the illegal breeding.
All right, let's see what Mayor Bass has to say.
Yeah.
This is what Mayor Karen Bass had to say when asked about the lack of enforcement on pet regulations in Skid Row.
Many animals suffering and dying there. Your response?
Well, absolutely. I mean, the animals are suffering, the people are suffering, and there are thousands of people, unfortunately, on the Skid Row area. And so we are looking at that as well. The animals are not neglected. And as a matter of fact, one of the reasons why we've been able to reduce street homelessness is because when we house people, we take their animals as well.
Okay, so you're allowing animals into, for example, inside safe.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
All right.
The first dog Start With One Today helped with was Bishop, who sadly needed help from them once again.
So this
Oh
is,
my God.
We're taking him out of Parvo. She went up Parvo. She actually came to our event before.
He found her at the bathroom. He's been taking care of her.
Yeah. All right, let's get her in.
Okay.
What's on her neck?
We don't know. And she has wounds all over her body too.
Should I check her in over there?
Yeah, that's fine.
What's her name?
Bishop.
Bishop.
but it's under.
Do you have any kind of leash or anything?
Yeah, we got leashes.
Okay, great.
Oh my God! Look at this food over
I know.
there. I know. All right, let's go. Right?
Yeah, let's see. Video. We need to do something.
Huh? Yep. All right, you got it. Goodbye, buddy.
This is unconscionable. Do you guys want me to stop?
All right, so Joey, what's your?
I don't know. I mean, I this stuff, it's so hard to watch, but if we don't know what's happening, how can we stop it? This stuff has to be stopped. You know, these are defenseless animals. You know, this is crazy.
With somebody? No, I'm not seeing it. Glass. Oh, glass got into it. Oh,
Okay.
it's very cruel. It's very cruel.
I mean, it was what I was expecting, right? Just but when you see it, when you smell it, and you see the conditions. I mean, you're walking in how Skid Row, and you know, if anyone who's been to Skid Row knows how things are. But and humans are one thing, right? And you do feel bad for them to a certain extent. But when you bring in animals who basically have no autonomy of what's happening to them, and they're used and abused and all that, it's really tough. So thanks for following along. If you want to support my work, support my journalism, make sure to subscribe to my Substack.
Check out his Substacks, Mostly Piece of Media. It's really great. If you get a chance, he's great. He's got a full video, full article on it there. And if you want to support this, starts with one today. I don't know. I'm always leery about supporting these organizations because a lot of times I think it's just Was Bella rescued from illegals? No. Bella, the dog I had before her was a rescue dog, Charlie, and I wasn't going to get a dog after Charlie because I was heartbroken when Charlie died. But the girl I was dating at the time sent me a picture of Bella. Bella was a puppy, and sent me the picture. Oh my God, look, this is Bella. It looks just like Charlie. And I wanted to name her Charlie too, but everyone's like, you had Charlie, you can't have another Charlie. And I'm like, why not? It's a dog. Charlie. And I'm like, so Bella, I ended up, she was a purebred. Bella's a purebred, had papers and all that stuff, AKC papers and all that stuff. But when I saw her as a puppy, I saw the picture. I was like, oh my God, that's Charlie. It looks exactly like her. Their face was pretty identical face, to same marking, same everything. So I was like, I gotta have her. So she wasn't cheap, but it was worth it. I remember Mayor Bass went to Cuba numerous times. Yeah, she's a piece of shit. Did I cover the Lieutenant Governor self-deletion? I talked about it. The story is a couple days old. I talked about it. It was a former Lieutenant Governor committed murder-suicide with his wife. If I'm not mistaken, he also had he's had numerous domestic stuff with him, and I think they tried to. I think it wasn't like he kept trying to get his wife arrested for domestic or something like that, or having his wife. It's not like weird stuff. I don't know. Yeah, Trump was right. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Yeah, Bella is the goodest girl. She is a good girl. She's a real good girl. All right. Let's do this real quick. There was another shooting. This one was at Iowa State University. 5 wounded, including 3 University of Iowa students in a mass shooting a block from campus. You never rename a boat or a car. Yeah, no, you don't rename a boat or a car. But how do you know if your dog or cat don't want to be called the name you picked? I don't know. They don't respond to it, maybe? Have you seen how much rescues charge these days? Pure breeds are often cheaper. Well, that's another thing, too, honestly. Some of these rescue places are real weird now. Like, they want to know all this information, and they're like, well, no, you can take the dog, but you can only have, and then they're like, and then we're going to reevaluate you. They want to come to your house. They want to do all this stuff. And then they could say like a year later, they have the right to come and take the dog back away from you. That's crazy to me. That's crazy town. Like, what do you mean? I'm going to have this dog for a year and love it and all this stuff, and you're going to come take it away from me? I'll pass. She's still doing a lot of runnings around, so you see a lot of hopes. My baby girl's 14 this year, and I've known it was a limited time. Her legs are starting to slip out from under her. Her mama wasn't that old. Yeah. There's one in Louisiana today. Mass shooting? Yeah, we just covered that, Uzelian. We just covered the one with the guy who killed his kids. That was just the story before the dogs. So 5 people, including at least 3 college students, were injured in a mass shooting a block away from the University of Iowa campus. Police responding to a large fight at the pedestrian mall in Iowa City around 1:45 a.m. involving as many as 100 people when the gunshots rang out. So, yeah, the 8 kids, we covered that one. It's right before the dogs. There was a massive fight involving 100 people. Can we picture in our minds what type of groups of people do that? These massive fights involving all these people. I think a lot of the rescue people tried to get on HOA boards, but weren't able to do that. So their second chance was bossing people around. Yeah. You saw on 2C that 2 people in the UK went to jail for protesting there. Yeah, Utes. Yeah, the Utes. Well, here's the thing. In the UK does not have freedom of speech. Yeah, money. What about money? Money. Chants and rants. Nothing there. Let's see. Nothing here. Nothing there. Nothing there. I don't see no. Okay, let me switch this real quick. I'll switch the thing back to Cash App, from Cash App to PayPal back there. They sell the puppies. 1:45 a.m. Yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it? 1:45 a.m. Must have been a doctor school convention. That's what I was thinking. Night, yeah, crazy night. Oh, back to lurking and listening. Hit that like, subscribe. Great rest of the stream. Thanks for covering a late Sunday news night. Okay, no problem, buddy. Thanks for being here, Crazy Duck Lady. Is the U.S. out of NATO for good? Well, no. I mean, we're still in NATO, but we might be getting out of NATO. NATO is and always has been the USA. What is NATO without the USA? What is Canada going to stay in NATO? What is, I mean, come on, Canada, you're not very, you can't really do a lot without the US's backing, Yeah, I think of Canada as like, remember that cartoon with Spike, the dog, and then the little dog that would always jump and make noise and do all this stuff, and Spike would just walk and be like, oh, come on, Spike, we're going to do this much. That's basically the Canada and USA. The Canada is the little dog that makes a bunch of noise and talks a bunch of stuff and talks about stuff, but because they got the USA always right there to help them. That's just my opinion. Oh, look, here's some pictures of this scene. Well, I see some dark faces. I see some white faces. I don't know. There's some white people on the phone. 1 victim's in critical condition. The other 4 victims are in stable condition. Cops shared a photo of 5 persons of interest. Where's the photo of the 5 persons of interest? Let me see it. Let me see the photo. Dramatic video shared on social media captured a dozen people crowd around a melee as group people threw haymakers. Oh, so there's a video. Okay, here we go. Ready? Holy shit. I guess my answer to you is who would do this is who. 136 likes on 161 views. It'd be nice if we could get some more. If we get it all the way up to 161, it'd be nice. Yeah, definitely white guys. Definitely these white guys. Knock it off, white guys. You can't. Golden Mary says you can't rename dogs and cats or not rename them and rescue them. Depending with no idea what their names are.
That boy got shot.
Homeboy got shot, man. Wow. Homeboy got shot. Yeah. This is every weekend in Toledo. Yeah. I think we're gonna need curfews back. You know, when I was a youngster, you know, there was curfews, and you know, and if you were under 21 and you were out past curfew, you had a problem. So I don't know. Maybe we got to change it. Maybe we got to. I don't know. Yeah. Tony says one. Yeah. It's called martial law enacted. Well, no. Just you just have a curfew. Just say no after this time of night. You can't have a curfew. No more than or something. You could say no more than 10 people gathered together on the street. Anything past 2 a.m. is trouble. Definitely. Definitely. Wow. At this time, multiple victims were taken to area hospitals treated for their wounds suffered from the shooting. University of Iowa President Barb Wilson confirmed in a statement at least 3 of the wounded people are students. I'm writing you with a heavy heart. Earlier today, a shooting in downtown Iowa City injured 3 University of Iowa students. College students out late drinking. I'm shocked, I tell you. Yeah, well. No. Just enforce what's on the fucking books. Okay. All right. I think there is already, isn't there curfew laws already on the books? They just have to enact them, or you say like you can't have so many. I'm sure there's laws about people gathering. That would you consider that what was going on there a lawful assembly or an unlawful assembly? I would think it's an unlawful assembly once people start fighting and stuff. Yeah, I grew up when curfews was not even thought about. Thankfully, my parents did put one on me. I always been a night owl. Well, I think curfews, Golden Mare, was like it depended on where you lived. Remember PSAs? It's 10 p.m. You know where your children are. Noise ordinance, mobs all together. Yeah. Popular college strip bar a block away. Oh, watch on YouTube. Let's see. What is this? University officials issued a campus-wide hawk alert. Hawk alert. Hawk alert. Warning of gunshots near the intersection of E College Street and Clinton Street. First responders on the scene confirm victims. Please continue to avoid the area. No arrests have been made. The Iowa City Police are asking witnesses to come forward and give their accounts along with any security camera footage. I lived under the airport in San Diego. They paid fines for departing flights after 10 a.m. After probably 10 p.m. You're saying, oh, yeah, they probably had regulations because of the routes or something. Yeah, not to be confused with the Hawk alert. Yeah, you got a Hawk 2 on that thing. Iowa City Crime Stoppers is offering $1,000 reward. Wow, $1,000 reward. Wow. That's a lot of cheddar. Leonardo DiCaprio found love again. Can't believe who he's dating. I don't know. She looks kind of. Who is she? Who is he dating? Who is Leo dating? Anyone know? Multiple people shot during a large fight at outdoor mall near Iowa State University. Oh, Iowa. Yeah, Iowa. University of Iowa. 1:46 a.m. Large altercation. Multiple victims taken to area hospitals. Exact numbers not yet been released by authorities. So that's it. That's all they have. CBS has just 5 people wounded. They said in a news release, 1:46 a.m. No arrests have been made. Pedestrian mall was closed. These are the 5 people they're looking for. Look at this. This is the 5 people. Anyone know who these 5 people might be? Huh. Are these students at the University of Iowa, you think? Are these university students?
There left 5 people injured, 3 of them University of Iowa City now, where a shooting there left 5 people injured, 3 of them University of Iowa students. It happened early this morning near campus when gunfire erupted during a fight. Multiple people were hospitalized, one of them in critical condition. Police have not made any arrests.
Oh.
This is Donna, discovering that on Vinted.
No, Donna. Goodbye. So these are the 5 suspects. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, they look like future rocket scientists, future doctors. You know, these. If Obama saw them, Obama would say they could be my son. That's what Obama would say. That's what Obama would say. I remember seeing them on Growing Pains. Probably. Yeah. Dan says, I thought the U.S. Navy basic training facility was at the end of the San Diego Airport runway. I know it's closed now. I know, but there's also, I think he's talking about the flight paths. That they take flight paths, they come off, and then they different flight paths. Please stay and neuter your Democrat neighbor. Oof. Kelly is shameful. Yeah. Persons of interest being sought by the police. So. Oh, and this story, man, this is crazy, man. Did you guys hear about this? 20 tornadoes confirmed as 50 million hit by severe weather across the Midwest. Like anybody in the Midwest, was it crazy? Yes, they were just out buying Skittles and grape cough syrup. Yeah, scissorip, right? Codeine syrup and scissorp. Intense tornadoes target more than 50 million. You guys see this? You guys know about this?
Been following, chasing, tracking these storms all week long here at Fox Weather. In fact, Fox Weather meteorologist Haley Meyer hasn't been in Studio W doing that. She's been out riding the storms from the Fox Weather Beast.
And she joins us this morning with an update on, well, plans for what severe weather we will likely see this morning. Haley, not sure if you were just listening to Bill Bunting's discussion, but it does sound like the upper...
This is Tuesday. What the fuck? People in the Midwest released urgent tornado warnings late Friday amid severe storms that downed trees and homes and power lines. I was told this was Saturday. This happened during the day yesterday. Today's been a potential to be a dangerous day of severe weather. Des Moines, Iowa, Tulsa. Yeah, 2 p.m. yesterday, April 17th. No. What? Why did this story come up to me as today? It was listed in today's news. National Weather Service confirmed 20 tornadoes reported across several states. Lena, Illinois, significant structural damage. Fox News weather tracker is watching a tornado in Rockton, Illinois.
Northern Illinois. This is a tornado that is forming right now. I believe that's a funnel. We'll talk with Brandon and the team.
Today's the 19th.
I can also get his visuals into. So we have Haley who's there right now, and hopefully we can talk to her as she's going to join us. Haley, can you walk us through this tornado that just formed in Rockford?
Yep. We've been watching this cell progress for quite some time, and it finally just touched down. At this moment, it looks like it's probably going to turn into a stovepipe tornado. Lots of thunder. I got hit by a couple of pockets of hail. Thankfully, we're in another rural spot, but you can tell that tornado is vastly approaching now. We are looking due north for the vehicle.
Oh, they confirmed all these tornadoes
today? We are looking
today?
off towards our west at this tornado right now. I'm going to try and zoom in with our Fox Weather Beast Cam so you can see some of the debris getting lofted. The good news is, again, this is somewhat in a rural area. But tornado in progress. This is north of Rockford, Illinois. We are somewhat close to that.
Wow. Additional clips show tornadoes in Iowa, floodwaters in Wisconsin, severe thunderstorms in Michigan, and people in Kansas cleaning up after storms. Forecasters say more severe weather may hit parts of the southern plain and the Mississippi and Great Lakes on Saturday. Over 70,000 customers in the Midwest and Great Lakes region are without power. Tornado touched down in Rochester, Minnesota, about 90 miles south of Minneapolis. Video footage showed Fox News chasers chasing inside a tornado in Illinois. The clip caught moments of the twister and dropped debris onto the roadway. Oh, this is okay.
I am inside the tornado. Yep, we are under a big mesovortex circ. We need to get out of here. Look at those vortices.
I mean, they're like, the tornado is right there. It's right there in front of them, in front of that car. What are they, nuts? Get out of there. Get out of there. You know, it's wild when Ryan Hall has 120,000 viewers. Streeter, Illinois. We're in a tornado when I was in Drummond Bugle Court. The pressure is crazy. Blame NASA for pushing holes in the dome. Yeah, what are they doing? Shooting holes through the dome.
I am inside the tornado. Sir, watch out. Big stones coming down.
Oh, they're inside the tornado. That's crazy. Okay, storm chasers are some kind of insane. These guys are nuts, man. Like, very dangerous.
Tree down eastbound on this road. It's dancing in the field. Yep, we are under a big mesovortex circ. We need to get out of here.
Yeah, we're under a big vortex. We need to get out of here. Those windshield wipers are making me feel like I'm being thrown around on the ocean. They may be crazy, but it's awesome. Yeah, it can be. That's all. I don't know. There's a couple of these stories to look at here. Recovery efforts after severe storms wreak havoc in Stevenson County. I mean, look at this. Look what it does. This is nuts, man.
Picking up the pieces after a suspected tornado tore through the village of Lena. That's not far from Rockford.
A suspected tornado.
No fatalities or serious injuries, but the recovery efforts.
We all want to be storm chasers after we.
Courtney Spinelli.
Yeah, a lot of us did.
Story.
Striking images coming out of the village of Lena.
Oh my God.
A violent storm wreaking havoc on the small community about 47 miles west of Rockford. Video from a live stream showing powerful winds whipping and debris flying Friday afternoon as it was moving into town. Rachel Neiman pulling into a car wash with her stepson to take cover, watching this tree get ripped from the ground as sparks went flying. Residents now taking in the destruction left behind in the wake of the storm.
A lot of roofs, a lot of trees. There's a couple houses that are, parts of them are gone.
There's trees down. Our neighbors have trees down. The neighbor over there lost her roof. There's a house across the street and down from her. There's no roof.
Oh, look at that. Roof is gone. The walls are still standing. That almost looks like a manufactured home, like one of those, like, I don't know. But the roof came clean off that house. Clearly didn't have any hurricane straps on it.
No trusses, nothing.
Across the community, damaged homes and businesses, along with down power lines, debris blocking roadways, and structures compromised from high winds. The Stevenson County Sheriff says within minutes, damage assessments were underway as emergency responders were conducting search operations and welfare checks.
We were able to send deputies and the fire department out to those addresses.
This Lena nursing home hit hard, its roof partially stripped off. Meanwhile, in Rockton, about 14 miles north of Rockford.
Yeah, that's a funnel cloud for sure.
No. All right. Wow, look at the flooding. Wow, flooding is worse, man. Flooding is bad. Look at this.
And over to Milwaukee, where drivers could be seen traversing flooded roads after heavy rainfall.
You got to be really careful. You never want to go through flowing water, or if the water's flowing, man, you don't ever want to drive through it. Don't ever want to drive through flowing water. A lot of pictures. It looks like. All right, let's just. It says Ryan Hall, y'all, says another wild shot of the tornado yesterday near Rochester, Minnesota. The Somali's tax fraud going to pay for the damage there? Maybe. No, that money's already floodwater freaks me out. It's toxic. Yeah, you got to be very careful. That looks roof. Yeah, it does. Wow, that's a nice. Wow, look at this. This is a. Look at that. It's going to tear that house, the roof off that house. You think? What's it going to do? I mean, that's probably like what, an F1 or F2, maybe F1. It's wild, man, when you think about how wild it is, what the weather can do. You know, what the weather can do. F2, if you could guess. You think so? Well, I mean, I think an F2 would do a lot more. Like it's the Fujita scale, right? It measures how much the tornado eats. I mean, that's what I learned on Twister, the documentary from Bill Paxton. I don't see it damaging any of the houses yet. I didn't see it ripping. I'll be on what time tomorrow night? I believe tomorrow I will be on at 7. I believe 7 o'clock ish. I will be on tomorrow. I'm going to try to get a raid from Robert if possible. I'm going to try to do that during the week if I can, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, at least, maybe even Thursday. Just go ahead and do it if I can all week long. And then if Thursday, I'm thinking if I do an early show at 7 following Robert, and then if Joe wants to stream with me, maybe I could just go to Joe, or Joe can come and join me when he wants to stream or something later in the night. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Central time? No, that's Eastern time. That's Eastern time. Eastern time. Eastern time. 7 Eastern time. 7 Eastern time. Billy is the extreme. Yeah. He chucked a bottle in and it never hit the ground. Tornado walloped small village west of Rockford. All right. Powerful winds and reported tornadoes ripped through the Midwest, leaving heavy damage but no deaths. So that's good. No deaths. That's always good. No deaths. We got this. Republicans plan to spend big. To try to keep Senator Husted's seat. So they're going to try to keep this Ohio seat. A bribery scandal adds to their challenges. So this is a scandal. Is this a bribery scandal? Did this guy actually commit bribery, or is this just the Democrats trying to cheat and come up with some crap? Trying to come up with some crap to try to get the seat. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that this is he actually made an AI YouTube channel that's just the weather called Y'allbot. That's cool. Billy is the extreme. Yeah. After that movie, I think Helen Hunt hit the wall. Oh, yeah, pretty close, right? It was pretty damn close. Pretty damn close. Pretty damn close for that. Well, I'm going to try to go a little longer here. Go a little longer here. Go a little longer here. Ogido says, good night. All, God bless. You're going to go to bed. Thanks, Jim. No problem. Hope to see you tomorrow night. Just keep in mind all these tornado outbreaks we're seeing the past few weeks, and FEMA has no funding. That's not true, Medikey. FEMA does have funding. That's not true. It's not true. FEMA does have funding. It's a different fund than the other DHS stuff going on. I think. I hope so. So Husted was recently called to testify as a defense witness in the related criminal trial of 2 former energy executives. Testimony he might have to reprise after a hung jury led to a mistrial. So wait, he's not accused of anything. He's a witness. Former Lieutenant Governor, Ohio Secretary of State, has never been charged with or accused of any wrongdoing, but the vast public record has emerged from the scandal has raised questions about who's dealing with key players who have been indicted or imprisoned in the scheme, which revolved around legislative approval of a $1 billion bailout for the state's 2 nuclear power plants. It's too early to know whether Husted's association with the trial will be a political liability for the first-term senator who in the fall is expected to face Sherrod Brown, a Democrat ousted from the Senate in 2024. A potential sign of concern, Senate Republicans' main super PAC, the Senate Leadership Fund, recently announced plans to spend $79 million on Husted's behalf. That's roughly 1/4 of its planned national spending in 8 tightly contested Senate races. Husted said he has no role in the bailout bill. So the Husted calendars that came to light during the recent trial involved executives for a utility Akron-based First Energy showed a number of additional meetings or phone calls that he had with former CEO Chuck Jones, with the state's former top utility regulator, who has since died, and with then Ohio Speaker Larry Householder. They formed the triangle of influence at the heart of the scheme as laid out by federal prosecutors. Husted's calendars were obtained by the Ohio Capitol Journal through a public records request. So Jones and the former First Energy lobbyists were charged for their alleged roles in a bribery scandal and will be retried in the fall. Householder is serving a 20-year sentence after being convicted in 2023 of orchestrating the scheme, which First Energy has admitted to underwriting. What? Yeah. FEMA has the emergency money, but the staff is not being paid. Interactions noted in the calendars around the time of the bailout bill was being developed and passed. He's consistently denied that he played a role in creating the legislation as well as having any knowledge of any criminal activity. My role was very clear. I wanted the nuclear power plants to remain operational. It was about keeping those plants open and keeping the lights on for millions of Ohioans. He's referenced in a text exchange about subsidy negotiations. Jones texted Dowling a screenshot of conversation he had with Householder that suggested Husted was working on First Energy's behalf to extend the term of the plant subsidies from 6 to 10 years. That's just what the politicians do. They go, oh, we want to keep these plants open. We got to extend the subsidies. Otherwise, they're going to close and running out of money. I mean, what is going on here? This is what they, I mean, unless they put money in their own pockets, I don't see how this is I don't see how this is a crime. Jones urged Householder to negotiate hard for 10 years, or he would be forced to revisit the issue again before his speakership ended and add $600 million. Householder wrote about an additional amount that had been not previously reported. The bill called for charging Ohio tax ratepayers $150 million a year in nuclear subsidies. Husted called me 2 nights ago and was supposed to get it in the Senate version. He's not a legislature. House replies was brought by who was by then the lieutenant governor. I know, but he had Senate leaders who would listen. He didn't deliver. The texts were part of evidence gathered in Householder's criminal trial when Husted has been asked previously about exchanges. He had been adamant that they do not prove he was part of any deal making. First Energy sucks. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know. I think this is just something they're trying to smear this guy with. I don't even know, because wasn't this guy appointed by DeWine anyway? By that shitbag DeWine that wants to keep all the Haitians. So a long-time Ohio lobbyist told federal agents that First Energy and First Energy Solutions, the subsidiary that owned the nuclear plants, helped by the bailout, funneled dark money to nonprofits that benefited Husted and Governor Mike DeWine. Oh, so what did they do? Did they help the Ohioans or something like that? Or I mean the Haitians? Ohio elections are getting hot and fighting for power. I'm voting Casey Pooch for governor. Only chance I see for Ohio to break from the same old BS in the state. I don't know who that is. I haven't been following Ohio. This is a very group that received $1 million contribution in 2017, marked internally by First Energy as Husted campaign. The donation was brought to light through documents filed in the lawsuit. Husted, Vivek. Vivek was running, right? Is Vivek running? I don't know. Dark money refers to political contributions flowing through certain nonprofit organizations whose donors do not have to publicly be identified. First Energy communicated from 2017-2018, which is evidence in a U.S. SEC investigation, includes discussions involving Jones, Dowling, and others about attending Husted events as far back as 2016. They also reflect Dowling's concern about dark money contributions becoming public. DeWine sounds like a name of an 80s R&B group. Could be. Yeah, he is, right? Has Bella even moved once tonight? I don't think so. Let's see. There. You happy now? She moved. David Beast is in Port Clinton, an hour from me. Davis Beast. They also discussed strategies to contribute under alternate names. Uh-oh. That ain't good. He may sound like that, but he looks like a 1920s vaudevillian. Oh, yeah. He's got a weird look. Husted declined a request for further comment. Senator Husted has commented extensively with the media and given testimony under oath and doesn't have anything additional to add. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think they're just trying to. So it says Ohio plans to spend big. Ohio plans to spend big.
And the search for Nancy Guthrie, it's one of several top headlines we're tracking for you this hour. Sources
I
tell
guess
us
we're
the
gonna talk about Nancy
FBI is
Guthrie.
using new technology to analyze a DNA sample found at Guthrie's home at the beginning of the investigation more than 2 months ago. The FBI says it's an original hair sample that was previously tested at a private lab in Florida. Guthrie, the mother of Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie, has been missing since February 1st when she was abducted from her home. In New Jersey, a Democrat won the special election to fill the House seat left vacant by now Governor Mikey Sherrill. Progressive candidate Anna Leah Mejia defeated Republican Joe Hathaway to keep the seat under Democratic control. Mejia previously worked as head of the Working Families Alliance and had the backing of Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. She will serve in the seat until January. And the driver who caused this wild rollover crash last year won't be driving again for a while. Dashcam video showing the moment police says she tried to make an improper turn on a highway, causing the driver behind her to swerve and then smashing his car. That driver was thrown from his SUV.
Wait a minute. This looks like military vehicles. These look like military vehicles. What are they talking about? This is crazy. So this is like, oh, he's going to try to escape the shadow of a $60 million bribery scandal. I don't see how he's involved in this. I don't know. If he didn't get any money, I don't know. We'll see. Republicans plan to spend big as a bribery scandal adds to their fortunes. And then this story I thought was very interesting. It says the FBI is easing hiring requirements. Wrong B footage? I think so. AI rollover. It's something weird. Almost looked fake, right? That was weird. There's no evidence to make any claim. Guthrie, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. The thing is, the Guthrie thing is so wild. It's so weird. So strange. It is. It's like so strange. It's crazy. You know, it's nuts. It's nutso badutso. It really is. It's like, how's this happen? It's kind of crazy in my opinion, but you know, whatever. It was in the UK. So they're easing their hiring requirements, turning to social media to attract applicants to rebuild the workforce depleted by firings and resignations. FBI and Justice Department are scrambling to rebuild a depleted workforce after waves of departures over the past year. But yeah, because they had all these military have strong trailer park hitches. That's what it seems like, right? Because yeah, after all these like deep state leftists that were in there trying to screw things up and slow walking things and causing problems, I mean, what are you supposed to do? You got to get rid of them. They got to go. The FBI has turned to social media campaigns to attract applicants, offer abbreviated training for candidates from other federal agencies, and relax requirements for support staff seeking to become agents. At the same time, the Justice Department has opened the door to hiring prosecutors right out of law school to help fill vacancies in the U.S. Attorney's Office. Okay, why not? Why can't you hire prosecutors right out of law school? I mean, they're lawyers, right? They went to law school. No flip seats in any special elections for Congress. The stupid continues and Republicans keep wasting time. Yeah. I think they have a maximum age of like CBP of 35. Some current and former agents also say the FBI is promoting into positions of leadership employees with less experience than would be customary for the jobs. Oh, so these are just people that are like, I should get it because I've been here longer, not people that are actually going to do what the administration wants them to do. The move reflects a broader effort to stabilize a workforce strained by retirements and resignations prompted in part by concerns over the Trump administration's politicization of the department. Nah, I don't think that's it. I think it's them being politicized. Okay. Well, thanks, Brian. You're going to love and leave me. I'm trying to extend the show until someone starts a show. Is what I'm trying to do. I'm waiting for someone to start a show for us to raid. I don't want to do the same place I've been doing all the time. There's one particular show I'm waiting on that's supposed to start in like 7 minutes. So we'll see. We'll see if he starts in 7 minutes. We shall see. It's a sign among things the difficulty the department's having right now in keeping and recruiting people. A former U.S. attorney in Nevada who left the FBI in 2018 as a chief congressional liaison. Oh, so he hasn't been there in 2018, but yet he knows all the stuff that's going on now. The FBI defended the changes as necessary moderation of the hiring pipeline. The Bureau holds high standards for potential and current employees. Waived requirements in some cases to become an agent. The FBI has long been seen as the nation's premier federal law enforcement agency with a recruitment process anchored around physical fitness tests. Yeah, I saw some of those video clips of the FBI agents that were kneeling and everything during the BLM stuff, and they didn't look to me like they had the strictest like physical fitness tests. A lot of them looked like they were in worse shape than me, and I'm an old man. Elements of the regimen have been periodically tweaked to fit the Bureau's needs, including over the past year under leadership of Kash Patel. Oh, what's this? Well, Mark says, one time I heard Jim tell me I did not listen, but Jim was right or not left, or yes, that. Hi, Jim. Hey, Mark, what's up? I don't know if you heard what happened to me, Mark, that I got demonetized by YouTube again yesterday morning after I made an appearance on Cynic's channel. I'm not blaming Cynic at all because it wasn't his fault, but I think maybe somebody that saw me on there and I made some jokes, maybe they mass flagged me or something. So I'm fighting right now to get my monetization back. It was, it's been almost 48 hours now. It's been 48 hours now, actually. It's been 48 hours I've been demonetized. It was at 1:03 a.m. The mantra, let good cops be cops, Patel announced last fall that transfers from other agencies such as the DEA would be able to complete a 9-week training academy instead of the traditional academy that spans more than 4 months. That change rankled some current and former agents. Well, okay. Well, why? If they're already a DEA agent or an ATF agent or a fucking federal marshal, yeah, I know Sin is way harsher than me, but Sin is not monetized. Sin was not fully monetized yet. I think he just got over the hump tonight. I think he just went over 1,000 subs tonight, so he can get fully monetized. So the change rankled some former agents about the professional culture and diversity of cases it handles to help distinguish them from other agencies. Yeah, channel, sorry, but T2B. Okay. So now you can't read the news. YouTube censors news reports. I can read the news. I'm doing the news, but like they claim somehow, I don't know, man. I don't know. They're claiming, like, I could show you, I showed you guys last night. I can show you again tonight what they said. I can show you guys again. It says right here, inauthentic content that appears mass-produced or repetitive to increase views without adding significant education or other value. I tried to reply. They blocked me over and over again. Damn. Yeah. I don't know. It's crazy. It's nuts. So it says the unpaid earnings will be withheld by the partner program. If I did file an appeal, we'll see what happens. That's all I can do. And it says for memberships, it says your memberships are paused and cannot access perks. Your members can't access perks. Their recurring payments are paused and your membership isn't visible. You may lose some existing members when membership is set to renew during this period. After being paused for 120 days, channel memberships will be disabled on your channel. If YouTube needs to refund members, your share will be deducted from your AdSense account. Huh. That's very interesting. So they're going to take the money from me to give it back. That's what they're going to do. Wow. Let's do this. Why don't we? There was a couple other stories on the Twitter here I wanted to talk about. There was one. Where's the one about the wait, why does this keep showing up again? I don't know. Why does this look like stuff I've already read? What the fuck is going on here? I don't know. What is happening? Why does it look like it's repeating? Let me find my thing and see what's happening here. Let me do this real quick. I'll go with some other ones here. Where are we at? Where are we at? Oh, that's where I am. This one I want to go to. Bookmarks. All right, share this. Uh-oh, somebody erased a post there. Yeah, look at this. Non-citizens don't vote, they told us. Yeah. You comment on all the articles you read? Yes, I comment. It's so vague. It is. They're racist against Bella. The demonizing by demonetizing. Yeah. Did they say how long they are pausing? No, it's just an appeal. They said it's going to take 2 to 4 weeks to do the appeal. And then if they don't approve the appeal, I got to wait 90 days and try to get remonetized again. So I don't know. It's crazy. That's why I tell, right now, basically, if you want to donate to the show, you got to do it through Cash App or PayPal or Coffee, Ko-Fi, or Super Tips, or like Rumble Rants. Memberships are still on Rumble. And then like Kick and Twitch also, Locals Coin, stuff like that. So then AAG Jalen started reviewing the voter rolls. So yeah, so this is Attorney General, Assistant Attorney General Harmeet Dillon talking about the voter rolls.
So what specific facts have you found? You just said there was lying and cheating. What can you tell us in terms of verifying that information? And I know you've been trying to go state by state to clean up voter rolls. What are you doing in that regard?
Yeah, so let's talk about that. We have a comprehensive effort. I've requested the voter rolls.
I don't have
from all
Venmo.
states in the District of Columbia. About a third of the states have voluntarily complied with us or reached settlements with us, and we've run some of those records. So I'll talk about that in a minute. I'm suing 29 states and the District of Columbia for their refusal to give us the voter rolls, to which the Attorney General or the Acting Attorney General is entitled under the Civil Rights Act of 1960. We're doing that to make sure that states are in compliance. And guess what? States are not in compliance, even those ones who want to. So for the ones that we've run so far, 60 million records that we've run, we found at least 350,000 dead people currently on the voter rolls in those jurisdictions. And we've referred approximately 25,000 people with no citizenship records to the to Homeland Security to look at dig into that further and see the extent to which people voted. I'm in touch with voting rights activists who are showing me information about people who have voted who are not American citizens. And so the left told us this never happens and it's a myth. It definitely happened. Just recently, someone was indicted in Minnesota, of all places, for voting without being a citizen. And so I've sent a document request to them on that. Minnesota has a weird vouching law that allows citizens to vouch for each other's citizenship. That's crazy and inconsistent with the Help America Vote Act. And we're not going to rest until we complete this project. Now, Maria, your audience would like to know perhaps that 5 states have actually had federal judges rule against us in this very simple request to get the voter rolls. This is such a basic voting hygiene concept in the 9th Circuit, in the 6th Circuit in Michigan, and just recently Rhode Island last week. And so we're expediting the appeals in these cases. There'll be an appeal in the 9th Circuit and the 6th Circuit soon.
Wow. So they're going to have appeal in the 6th Circuit, the 9th Circuit, all that stuff. So that's cool. So we'll see what happens with that. Okay. Check this out. Syria releases footage of them seizing and arresting Hezbollah operatives and their equipment. A new Middle East is on the horizon. So it looks like maybe the Syrians are actually doing something. Like, I don't know. You guys watch this. You tell me what you think. All right. I know music, but this is what they're showing, claiming that these are people arresting the Hezbollah people. But I don't know. Some of these people that are doing the arresting kind of look to me like maybe those be some bombs right there. Those are what's known as like IEDs that they want to blow stuff up with. That's what I think. Look at this stuff. So that's what the Syrians, so Syrians are doing stuff, actually. Trump freed Syrian left, more wins and promises kept. Finally, U.S. is fully withdrawn from Syria. Yeah, we covered this the other day. This was the U.S. leaving. the U.S. leaving Syria a couple days ago. Huge butt bombs, yeah. Of course, we'll look at the 29 cases the day after the election. Oh, we covered something last night. Could be Frank Bob from DVC and Fred details. Could be, you're right. Could be. It could be all bullshit. It could be all bullshit. But we covered some stuff last night. You'll be very interested about, Joe, that me and Joe covered, that the Supreme Court, there's a case that's been stalled. It's the same exact thing they did back in with the Dobbs decision to overturn Roe, where the three dissenters are refusing to do their dissent, to hold up the decision from coming out. And in the Dobbs decision, they were actually hoping that they could flip someone, because they thought they had Roberts, where if they could find another person to go with them, that Roberts would come along and that they could get 5-4 to keep Roe v. Wade. And that's why they were delaying. And a lot of people speculate that they didn't care, like, because Alito and Gorsuch and them, they went to these. There's a huge story about it, and it's going to be reported on more. We'll cover it a little more later, maybe, that a bunch of people, like, they were hoping someone was going to get killed, like one of the Supreme Court justices would get killed, and then they could get a different ruling to come out. Like, and they didn't care. Like, Kagan was screaming at Breyer so much that the walls were shaking. People are reporting about, it's been reported, like, saying, no, don't speed up. They make them wait. We have time. We can make this. We could still flip this. What? That is nuts. And they're doing it again right now. Yeah, you said last night Reuters could stop that crap. Okay, you were watching that. All right, I wasn't sure. Sorry. But yeah, so that's what they're doing now with the voting rights laws, that are basically trying to delay them so that there can't be any redistricting prior to this election. It's nuts. Why is this post unavailable today? Mass deportation comes from immigrant crimes, folks. When illegal aliens feel uncomfortable enough to sell drugs in our schools and sexually assault minors, we have a big problem. Worst of the worst, targeting enforcement put this position. Wow. Yeah. Look at this. Juan Robles Alea was accused of taking pictures of a 16-year-old girl committing sex acts and selling weed near her school. What do you know? Wow. A white male. Wow. Look at this. These white males have to stop. Juan Robles Alea, please stop sexually assaulting girls. You white males, please stop. Please stop it. Please stop it. Please stop doing this to the girls. Please. We need a Department of Mass Deportation. We really do. We really, really do. This is the feds arrest the Iranian one. We covered that. It says weaponization by the government officials to fabricate false narratives against POTUS and advisors in the Russia hoax is a travesty. So yeah, the Justice Department, they're actually supposedly they're going forward with this, and they hired. Maybe I'll jump to that in a second.
I want to get your take on who really was behind that impeachment process for President Trump. But even more important, give us your sense of what you just heard me talk with Kash Patel about, and that is the failure of any accountability. Our audience knows exactly what happened with the Russia collusion story. No one has been held accountable. Why not?
Well, Maria, thanks for having me this morning. And I heard Kash's remarks. I agree with them. And, your folks need to understand that when we start these investigations, it takes time. We have to interview a lot of witnesses. We don't want to do what the other side did, which is just jump to conclusions. And so we're building strong cases. And I think your viewers are probably familiar with the fact that some of the judges out there, particularly judges appointed more recently, have been, doing their own form of lawfare by simply denying the Trump administration's valid cases in court on numerous different cases. And so we've experienced that at the Department of Justice. And so we're trying different tacks. We're putting teams together. I'm personally involved in some of the issues that we've talked about. Like Kash, I can't talk about things prematurely before they come to a grand jury or before we're able to announce them. But I can assure you that the whole Department of Justice is very committed to this. And Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche is continuing the work started under the Attorney General Pam Bondi. And we will have news in the very near future on
Thanks
these
for being
issues.
there, Joe. Hope to see
There's
you
so
tomorrow
many
night.
issues, Maria, like you just mentioned, the Atkinson situation. I mean, we just saw the news come out in the last couple of days about the CIA's weaponization of the government and intelligence officials to concoct a fake narrative regarding the Hunter Biden laptop and sign on and lie to the American people. And they did that, many of them, on the government dime. And so there are some serious violations that may come out of that as well.
Wow. I hope so. I hope so. I hope some serious violations. Let's just say a man charged with attempted murder and attempted rape was back on Florida streets in 48 hours. A judge let him go. Nobody was held accountable. That's why I built Court Watch. On his post, I launched Court Watch 8 days ago. The data had errors. This one's on me. I spent weeks fixing every record. Yeah, I checked out this guy before. This is hold on, where are we at here? This guy. He tried violently raping a girl in a park. He has a long violent record. Gets freed yet again. This guy keeps getting referred.
Sir, I want you to listen up. You got an atrocious record. These charges are violent in nature.
Despite his criminal history, Jacoby Tillman was granted a $9,500 bond and released from jail this weekend. He's accused of trying to rape a woman on the Little Econ Greenway Trail this summer. The Orange County Sheriff's Office released this surveillance video shortly after the attack in July. Tillman was just arrested this month on charges of attempted sexual battery, strangulation, and false imprisonment.
What bothers the court in setting bond in this case is that, he's got some violent offenses and a violent history, and these are violent offenses. But nonetheless, I think that the bonds is set.
We've been looking into Tillman's record, too, and found out he was also arrested after grabbing a woman in the same area 3 years ago.
Sir, I want you to listen up. You got an atrocious record. These charges.
Atrocious record. I mean, it's crazy. They just keep letting these people go. It's nuts. They just keep letting them go. Oh, man. This does not encourage self-deportation. Chad Bianco, if you remain here illegally and you stay under the radar and nobody ever finds you, more power to you. I couldn't care less. I'm not going to come hunt you down. This is the guy running. This is the guy people are saying should be the governor of California. All right.
If you remain here illegally and you stay under the radar and nobody ever finds you, more power to you. I couldn't care less. I'm not going to come hunt you down. If you remain here.
Oh, wow. I didn't know he was gay until just now. Yeah. Trump can't make cattle appear that weren't bred for 3 years ago because the Biden administration policy takes 3 years from date of breeding till that beef lands in the market. We're seeing it today result of declining beef. The $16 Biden T-bone you bitch about is now $30 Trump T-bone. That's because they stopped. They cut down on the beef. The Schoen T-bone family is discontinued. USA reports choice beef averaged $9.66 a pound in August. Rise is driven by the cattle herd smallest since the 50s from droughts and high costs since 2022. It was just crazy what they're doing with the stuff. They try to just keep twisting it and stuff. All right, I'm gonna find this. Michigan Democrat Senator frontrunner Abul Sayed just proved how low. This is the scumbag who's been campaigning with Hassan Piker. He goes after JD Vance's wife, man. He goes after JD Vance's wife.
What do you think is going through Usha's head when he talks? She's like, damn, I have to sleep with him. I mean, like, I guess she's pregnant, so I guess something's happening. But like, yeah, like you got to imagine, like, truly zero charisma.
Yeah,
like, none, right? And like, can you imagine, like, he's got brown kids. At some point, he's gonna have a really awkward conversation with his kids. Be like, like, you made your career hating people who are different.
And people that look like his kids.
Yeah.
Saying, there was a video of him saying that it's completely okay for you to not want your neighbor to not speak English. So I'm thinking, I saw a photo of him at Thanksgiving. They're speaking Hindi.
His kids' grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you have that conversation with them?
Yeah.
I'm like, part of me is just like, bro.
I mean, this is so ridiculous. And this is the guy that refuses to condemn Hamas. He refuses to condemn the shit that Hassan Piker say. If this guy becomes, if this guy becomes a senator from fucking from Michigan, we have legit fucking Muslim supremacists in the fucking government. This is nuts. I remember them culling the cattle under Biden for suspecting fearsome contagious disease. They did the same thing with the chickens. My friend. They did the same thing with the chickens. So, yeah. Well, Who is gay? Chad Bianco. He sounded very gay to me. I don't know. I mean, it's just something in his. No, U.S. Senator. He's running for U.S. Senator. U.S. Senator. He's running for U.S. Senator in Michigan, the state of Michigan. I don't know, Michigan. If you vote for this guy, Michigan, you're fucking lost, man. You're fucking lost. Lost. I want to find, where's the story here? Okay, let's do this. Yes, let's do this. 340 million in fraud cases see action during a 1 week period. This is the Senate race in Michigan. Michigan Senate race. I believe I think the senator of Michigan is retiring, whoever the senator was. I think. And so he's running. There's a Democrat primary and a Republican primary and stuff like that. So the Department of Justice summarizing new arrests, sentencing, and guilty pleas across America in a fraud crackdown. Authorities arrested 5 suspects in a 1.6 million COVID pandemic scheme, took enforcement actions in fraud cases totaling 340 million during the past week, DOJ said on April 17th. DOJ statements highlight the work of federal prosecutors and the agency's new fraud-focused unit. The National Fraud Enforcement Division is committed to prosecuting anyone who steals from American taxpayers. Well, that's good. So they're saying that the loss or intended loss varies from 54,000 to more than 100 million. No matter the amount, we are steadfast. So maybe we should stop serving a 5-pound ribeye to each kid. My mind went to Durbin, but that's Illinois. I think Durbin is also retiring. And then there's a crazy communist black supremacist. Jim is like AI. He fixes our spelling errors. Nice. Well, I try to as best I can. So on April 7th, memorandum creating the anti-fraud division. Todd Blanche said the DOJ has fought. He out. So with over $1 trillion at stake each year, threatened by increasing sophisticated and opportunistic fraudsters, the time for that comprehensive and coordinated approach is now. Yeah, they gotta do something. Federal scrutiny of government-funded assistance programs initially focused on Minnesota last year, then expanded nationwide, so that's good. In recent weeks, federal prosecutors revealed that California's government program fraud, believed to be total hundreds of billions of dollars in taxpayer dollars, dwarfs Minnesota's $9 billion. Yeah, I think they're saying they think California is like 400 billion over 5 years or something like that. Like insane. Yeah. Prickster endorsed the white-hating black boss bitch. Yeah, she is a crazy, like, she has connections to, like, I don't know. I don't want to get myself in trouble. She has connections to some very unsavory people on Chicago's South Side. That's all I'll say. Have I followed Javier Milei's trip to Israel? This guy's a rock star. No, I think what Javier Milei has done for Argentina has been fucking awesome. Like, he has turned that place around. Turn it around. The newest cases: 5 people arrested April 16th in 3 states: Kentucky, Indiana, and Colorado. They're accused of scheming to obtain 1.6 million. So, Kaylan Green, Camden Newton defrauded. So let's see. What do you think, Kaylan Green and Camden Newton? Who do you think those are? Looks like Iran isn't showing up in Pakistan. If they don't, then Wednesday's going to be a very exciting day in Pakistan, in Iran. I mean, that's about it. Cali is definitely the biggest tilapia pond in the nation. Barry's minion. I don't know about being Barry's minion so much. There's other people that are unsavory on the south side of Chicago that she's connected to. Does the name Farrakhan mean anything to you? That's all I'll say. Through 90 fraudulent applications, the scheme reaped more than 850,000 and attempted to gain another 750. Randon Romero Williams in Michigan. He's accused of applying for more than $5 million in paycheck program losses, protection loans, I mean. And then Abdullah Nur Jasawa of Minnesota, 43 months in prison for the largest COVID pandemic fraud scheme. The group that claimed that it fed millions of free meals to children, but that few, if any, ever fed. Blagojevich? No, Blagojevich is not connected to this at all. Blagojevich is on the other side. Blagojevich is technically, I would say, a Republican now. He's not part of that machine anymore. I mean, there was Democrats back in the 70s and 80s and even early 90s that were like, that actually cared about the people, that weren't this crazy leftist communist Democrats. But that's what we're dealing with now. You have legit like communists being elected places, like legit. The lady who won in New Jersey, the special election to replace the governor of New Jersey, Mickey Sherrill, the person who won is a straight up communist. Straight up communist. Straight up communist. In Iowa, a farmer was sentenced to 13 years in prison for cheating federal taxpayers out of more than $1.7 million. Tanner James Sunchgens admitted that he falsely obtained agriculture subsidies, stole multiple identities, and stalked a witness. Wow. The Iranian people are being held hostage like a 1970 airplane tarmac. The IRGC can't be trusted. The UN should never have allowed them to form a government. Pirates play democracy board game. Yeah, he was normal. Obama had him arrested. Oh, yeah. Obama had him arrested because he was a normal politician and he wasn't playing Obama's game. He wouldn't do what Obama wanted. Obama wanted him to give his seat to someone particular. And he was like, no, you don't get to tell me who I give the seat to. Fuck you. What do I get? In Florida, an Orlando man was sentenced to more than 6 years in prison for bank fraud and aggravated identity theft. Dexter Ray King filed dozens of fraudulent claims for funds through the COVID-19 pandemic and unemployment assistance program, often using stolen identities of other people to fake addresses. The court ordered King to forfeit $549,000. Another Florida case, a nursing assistant was sentenced to 9 years in prison for his role in an $11 million conspiracy. Christian Cruz owned and operated a medical equipment company. The medical equipment fraud is rampant in Florida. It really is. There is more medical equipment companies in Florida than there is in the rest of the country. It's crazy. Hundreds of maybe I'm wrong about the rest, but a lot in Florida. Like maybe not the rest of the country, but like a lot. The Weather Underground. Well, the Weather Underground, that's who Obama was tied to. But these people, like, they're not like this lady is not part of that group. This lady is part of a worse group. Like what's, used to be called like El Rukns. And, a guy by the name of Jeff Fort connected through the, like Nation of Islam type of thing. Black Panthers, that stuff. Another medical professional, a chiropractor, was sentenced to 8 years in prison. He was ordered to repay $5 million because he ripped off Medicare, Medicaid, and TRICARE. Another doctor schemed Medicare for medically unnecessary cancer genetic testing for $6.6 million. A judge sentenced to this guy this guy stole $6.6 million and he got 1 year of home confinement. What? Yeah, I don't understand what these guys in Iran are thinking. They shot an oil tanker, and when their boat gets captured, suddenly they're a victim. Well, they're crying victim because they don't want people to know what was on that boat. We're going to find out what was on that boat, and it's not going to be something like, oh, it was baby formula and diapers. In Alabama, a woman was sentenced to 14 years in prison for an elaborate tax fraud scheme. Queen Naja conspired with an Alabama man to snag $2 million. A fraction of the nearly $430 million she attempted to reap. So she was trying to steal $430 million. Your channel, maybe you need more commentary about the articles and subject within. Maybe saying crazy, sad isn't enough for YouTube policy. YouTube policy is that you can't just read the articles with nothing else. You can't just exclusively just read directly from articles. You have to do other stuff, which I do. I talk about other things. So that's the standard. You can't just read it. So I don't know. I mean, I don't just read it. I make comments. I don't just read it through. I'll stop and comment. I'll do other things. I don't know. Diddy formula on the tankers. Yeah. A Florida doctor indicted Thursday after allegedly removing a patient's liver instead of spleen in fatal surgery and charged with first-degree manslaughter. I don't know about that. Like, if it was a legit medical accident, how? I mean, it's a medical accident. It's like yeah, you engage with the chat. Let's see how you do that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think AI could do it. It stated the plan involved creating a legal trust, submitting false tax documents, filing fraudulent payment, and leading the U.S. Treasury to issue a check for more than $1 million. In addition, they fraudulently netted more than $1 million in refunds paid to her mother, money that helped pay for a house where Naja lived for several years while continuing to commit fraudulent activity. How the fuck? Yeah. They want Jim to use a VTuber avatar. Maybe. Dr. Thomas Sheknovsky. I'm going to have to look into that. Brooklyn, I will look into that story. To me, that sounds like maybe an overcharge. Maybe not. I don't know. Was he on drugs or something? Like, that's the thing. Like, was he under the influence of something when this happened? Was it just a simple medical mistake? Articles like this are illegal in California. You know, was it a simple mistake? It's like in this story, like this, I don't understand why this doctor, okay, this to me seems messed up. This doctor overbilled Medicare for all this money, and he gets sentenced to 1 year home confinement, $6 million. This woman stole $2 million, and she got 14 years. Like, why is it so vastly different? Maybe he pled guilty. Maybe he pled guilty. Maybe. Okay, maybe he pled guilty. Between trial and sentencing, she listed the house and furniture for sale, and the IRS seized $214,000 from that sale. So that's some good shit going on. All right. This story is crazy, right? Trump says that the first releases of USO documents will begin very, very soon. So this makes me worried. Like, what are they trying to make us distracted from? That they're talking about UFOs and stuff. So Trump says he recently directed Secretary Ward to begin releasing the government files relating to UFOs and stuff. This process is well underway. The president ordered government agencies to release information about UFOs. So what information do they have is the question. What is it, just like bullshit? Is it sounds like some bullshit. I often mistake my liver for spleen. They're located in vastly different locations, don't look similar, but I do confuse them. But I'm not a doctor. The U.S. holds thousands of documents related to historical reports about subjects of unidentified flying objects, and pause videos to comment on subject and commenting a bit while they play versus letting them play through. Vids would hard me, you let it play through, then all you said after it was cool. Well, I'll do my best. I appreciate all the help. I really do. I'm trying. Well, that's why I changed up the thumbnails, and I think every day I'm going to have to do a different thumbnail and just try to throw some crap in there, about what I'm talking about. And I'm just going to have AI make it, because I can't. It take me too long to try to make one with, clip stuff and mix stuff in. It'd take me hours to do that. Let's make people act more retarded than they did during COVID. Don't move either, Charles and Company. Yeah. So the buzz is revealing more evidence comes days after Artemis II made a historic voyage. So I don't know what that has to do with anything. They're just documents, Schmidt told the Epoch Times, Eric Schmidt, a senator from Missouri. They don't prove anything. We just need to stop dancing around the deal that we want to see the files or documents. If I want to hold a piece of the hardware, I want to see tissue sample. Take me to where you're preserving the bodies. Is that Eric Schmidt? Wait. Donald Schmidt. Okay, never mind. I thought it was Eric. I was like, why would he be saying that stuff? We've had 30 death confessions. They're not interested. The International UFO Museum in Roswell. Well, that's not like a not secret Nazi base at the dark side of the moon. How disappointing. No secret Nazi base. Okay. My space button isn't working unless I press it multiple times. Weird. Might need to reboot YouTube app. The Secretary of War told reporters February 23 he's already working on the documents. So, yeah. So, well, I don't know. So that's interesting. Yeah. This was the same thing coming out of the New York Post. Basically, Trump says they're going to release them soon. So Trump's told the Turning Point Action people that Arizonans are really into that. I figure it was a good crowd because I know you people, you're really into that. And I don't know if I am too. So whatever. You'll figure it out. Let me know. But we've had a lot of questions. It's something that's really captivates the mind. Alien Research Center, Area 51. I don't know. President said there's tremendous interest in the topic following the former President Barack Obama, who said that based on, suggesting aliens are real. So yeah, so Obama said that. And then this story is interesting. This goes back to the stuff about the Russiagate stuff. Have I been watching the rant lately? I can't see these guys call themselves impartial. I haven't. Some articles and videos you do make more comments on, maybe more of that. Go back and watch some of your videos and evaluate yourself again. Just suggestions. Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. I do. I am a subscriber, you jerks. Joe DiGenevoa to oversee Spygate probe after DOJ removes career Miami prosecutor for slow walking charges against John Brennan. Yeah, there was some woman, I guess there was this guy, Joe DiGenevoa, they brought him in. There was some woman, and that was basically protecting John Brennan in the Miami field office. So he was a U.S. attorney under Reagan. He'll oversee the Spygate probe. Justice Department on Friday removed Maria Meditis, a career federal prosecutor who was slow walking charges against John Brennan. Brennan was a target of the grand jury in the Russiagate probe in South Florida. And last July, it was reported that Director Comey and Brennan were under FBI investigations for their involvement in Russiagate. Duran has some communistic views. When I checked them out last year, I stopped watching them. Yeah, I think didn't they support Maduro? Or am I wrong? Am I wrong? I swore they were like really anti that other guy, the guy that was against Maduro. I think when it comes to stuff like Ukraine, I think they're in a lot of ways right about a lot of that stuff with Ukraine. But other than that, I don't know. I mean, so Director Ratcliffe referred Brennan and Comey for prosecution. U.S. Attorney Jason Redding Quinones, the guy with the big cojones, Quinones, was in charge of the investigation. CNN reported DOJ abruptly removed Maria Meditis for stonewalling and slow walking charges against Brennan. Maria Matthias Long on Friday notified attorneys representing people involved in the case that she's no longer handling the investigation. People familiar with the matter said she has led a politically sensitive probe for months amid demands for Trump to prosecute Brennan and other critics. Well, they want them to prosecute people who broke the law. CNN reported the career prosecutors in South Florida office are pushing back. That's not their job to push back. Their job is to do what the fuck they're told, or they can go. If they have the evidence that a crime was committed, you bring the fucking charges. Not doing it is political. They've handled the case for months, pushed back against demands to quickly bring charges. Yeah, they're trying to fucking delay it until the statute of limitations expires. That's what they're doing. They're playing fucking games. They signaled that they don't believe the case is a strong one. Still, they have continued to work possibly towards bringing it in federal court in D.C. Yeah, they want to bring it in D.C. That's what the Miami people are like. No, we're not bringing it in D.C. So they reported the DOJ brought in DiGenevoa to oversee the Spygate probe. He's a conservative attorney who previously represented Trump's campaign when it challenged results of 2020 elections, being tapped by U.S. Department of Justice to lead an ongoing criminal investigation to former CIA Director John Brennan. He will oversee the probe from the Southern District of Florida. He's joining the team days after Matthias Long was removed. He and his wife, Victoria Tensing, worked on Trump's 2020 campaign. Victoria Tensing, I know who that is. I know her. The couple represented Ukrainian businessman Dmitry Firtash, who was accused by the DOJ of bribery and racketeering. Giuliani, DiGenevoa, and Tensing also reportedly worked on gathering evidence of Joe and Hunter Biden's corrupt dealings with Ukraine. Well, that's good, right? That's good. Okay. Well, everybody, I think that's going to be it for the evening. We went almost 4 hours, 3 hours and 45 minutes. I want to thank everybody who's here. I want to thank you all. Thank you all the people who donated money. It's very helpful. It's going to come in handy. I'm going to try and send you over to see our friend Nick, who just went live a little while ago. Christina Lala looks like Melanie Mack. Kinda. She does, kinda. No problem. So go over, see Nick, and tell him hi. On Rumble, I don't think Nick is live on Rumble. I'm going to see who's live on Rumble And then I will send everybody over there, whoever's live on Rumble. Oh, Nick is live on Rumble. All right, never mind. So I could do both. All right. Cool. Cool, Raul. I want to thank everybody who was here. All right. Thank everybody who was here. And remind you all, yeah, Law Pope. Yep, he's live. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you all tomorrow, 7 o'clock. I'm hoping 7 o'clock tomorrow. I'll see you all. Come on back for Jim to tell you the news.